We did it. We're back. What's up? How's it going, everyone? Welcome in. The best TikTok live alive. Live right now. Amazing. We're doing it. Hey, what's up? Oh, what's up, Nico? How's it going, dude? Hell yeah. I'm happy that you're here, dude. All right. Practicing for what? No, I was just kind of vibing until everyone gets in. Kind of getting everything all set up. Let's see. All right. Here we go. How's everyone's day going? Hope you're having a good day. Anyone do anything fun? My experiments did not go as planned. And I had to do more sequencing in order to get it done. So that's always frustrating, but no. Oh, do I take patients as in no, I'm a microbiology PhD. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I'm not an MD. I've actually contributed to my field. Thank you. I joke. I joke with the physicians. I joke with them. Um, 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 um. Dude, yeah, MD PhDs are legit, man. They're really cool. I mean, that's like so impressive. I had one of my MD friends got a master's, and he was like awesome with everything. And it was just like cool to see him do some research and get his master's. We do have some MDs that come in here, so yeah, it's really cool. I think it's awesome. Dude, there's some crazy news that's happening, unfortunately. So, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, the crazy stuff with the CDC. I'm not surprised, but we can talk about it a little bit. Hi, hello. All right. Let's see. Oh, the suspect and officer are dead outside of a shooting outside the CDC. I mean, they shot at the building multiple times, so it looks like it's somehow motivated by the CDC and related to that, unfortunately. So, very not good. Very, very, very bad. It was just kind of the idea of these conspiracy theories and people kind of undermining science and lying and putting disinformation out there is causing real world impacts, like not just for vaccine disinformation, but we're talking about, scientists that are being targeted. We don't know the exact motive yet, but it seems like it. They shot at buildings of the CDC. So we don't know. It could be unrelated, maybe, but we have to be cautious, right? Especially with a breaking news event, we don't know exactly what's going on. Have you been noticing that since the vaccine happened, people have been driving stupid? I think that's always happened. I think that's always been happening. Let's see here. What's your take on Alzheimer's being a candidate for type 3 diabetes? Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I don't can you link something? What's up, Nico? How's it going, dude?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
There's a big platform creator. His name is Good Trouble. He was just talking about you like 10 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Um, You last night you were kind of like battling one of his like enemies, right?
Okay.
And he was asking if we had anyone had screen recorded this clip where he said, "I don't live in fear," and then you said something to the extent of, "You don't live in reality."
Hmm.
Um, and so he was asking us if we recorded that. But yeah, Liam is he's kind of a chronic troll on this other page, but it was really interesting to see his anti-COVID or anti-vaccine stance.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, yeah.
But I know you want to move away from that kind of stuff because it's like it brings a level of toxicity to the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I mean, it's really tough. I think that I'm really okay. Well, you know what? I mean, you've been here for a while, and I kind of want to talk about, I guess, stuff anyway. I feel like we have to kind of like do some changes, just how running things and trying to, because the outcome of everything that happened, and it's kind of unfortunate. I'm glad that he thinks that it was productive, apparently, which is good. But being on the other side, it seems like there was some negativity that happened towards this space. So I feel like we have to um, recognize what's happened. So, but I don't want to pile on the drama, and I really want to move past it and move forward, because I think that there's incredible. I'm honestly really proud of what we've done here, like already, like genuinely. I think it's incredible that this is a space for MDs, PhDs, scientists, so many people that we come together and we talk about issues, and we talk about them deeply, and we discuss ideas that are, in depth, and I don't think that it really happens anywhere else in TikTok. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen it, if it does. So I, and people, this is a positive space. This is a positive space where people are, I want people to try to improve themselves professionally, personally, and I want to keep this a positive area. And people are already in my DMs. We're talking to them about how to get into science, how to break through into science. And people, like, yesterday and last week, we're talking about how they can get into grad school, how they can, career advice, walking through them uh, on advice on what to do next. But in I think that the begs the question, right? If this is a positive space, and this is we're trying to improve ourselves, then why do we allow people pushing conspiracies on here? And because it seems almost counterintuitive, and I just see people saying that in chat sometimes, like, why are we talking to these people? And the reason is, for a lot of these people, it's the first time that they've ever talked to a scientist, right? Scientists are really rare, and I go to a lot of parties and I tell them I'm a scientist, and people are like, what in the world? That's crazy. And these people deserve a chance to actually be heard by someone and give an actual real listen to. And, for a lot of them, it's the first time. And these people that believe in conspiracies, they can also improve themselves, right? They can actually also change. And I know that because it's personal for me. I used to be skeptical that humans could change the climate. I thought that it was insane that people thought that humans would had that big of an impact. Um, but I changed my mind, and I've dedicated my life in order to do science. So I think going forward, okay, these are like the big changes. That's the premise. Okay, that's the premise for what I'm talking about. But these are the ground rules now. Okay, so any type of brigading, any type of targeted harassment, that where if anyone in this community is going over to another stream and harassing anyone, that is called brigading, and I will instantly permaban you permanently. No second thoughts. I don't care how much what you've done here. I don't allow that. 2, doxing. Any type of doxing or posting personal information in the chat, that is also a permaban instantly. We can't have people, their personal information being thrown through chat, and we can't have that being a medium where people get flayed, on this, and it's just not okay. So this is a positive community. We're working to better ourselves, and in order to do that, I feel like one-on-one chats are the best way to do that. I think that the panels get really discordant, and people don't actually learn the best, and it allows me a time to actually talk to someone so that they can have their voices heard. And I think that's very important. Also, so there's no panels, but I appreciate people requesting, okay? And I want that, but we're going to do a queue, all right? I don't want anyone there's no pay to chat here. You can donate, I appreciate it, but you are not going to be able to pay to get on first, okay? You have to wait in the queue. And I think that it's fair then to figure out a way how to run through the queue. If there's more than one person in the queue, we just need to run through the queue, right? And like last night, we're in a long discussion and there's 7-8 people waiting, and I feel like maybe they've lost their chance. And this opportunity is for them as well. So this honestly is the part that I'm really frustrated with, and I don't know, and I'm still kind of figuring this out, but I have to put a timer up so that we can actually just go through the queue and kind of move people out. And you could re-queue, right? You can put yourself in, re-request, and that's fine. But if people really want to stay on and they want to stay longer, then I think the best way to do that is to put some type of coin for a second or a sub for 10 minutes, that kind of thing. Because then it allows people to actually be on there longer if they really want to. Also, I think that the chat last night was unhinged. I'll be honest. People were spamming slurs. I can't have that. Okay. I am a professional. I have my name here. I have my first name, last name. I am totally exposed here. I can't have my head next to a racial slur. Okay. I can't, but I want the chat to be on the screen so that people understand what's going on. So, and that's one of the reasons why I think the chat has to be on follow only now, because we need some kind of friction so that people aren't just spamming the chat with nonsense. I want to be able to see what the chat is and respond accordingly. So, and spamming just doesn't raise the discourse, right? That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to elevate knowledge. We're trying to, figure out things, not trying to enable toxicity. So I think that those are kind of the changes that I'm having. What do you think about that, Nico? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot. I think that there is some value in having these conspiracy theorists on, in the sense that the goal isn't to convert them, because I think they're gone, they're lost. But when you dismantle their arguments, and there's someone in the chat that is a little bit maybe biased or predispositioned, but still malleable to where if they hear you break them down, it can make a big difference. One thing that's a little bit frustrating with like kind of the brain rot TikTokers is that their arguments just kind of keep going in circles, right?
Yeah.
So you'll often see the debate just kind of revolving continuously. And I think that's where the value ends.
Yeah.
But I do like the ground rules. I do like the culture that you're setting. It's very professional, very cordial, and like you give everyone a chance. And I think, like what you said, like having people have access to scientists is kind of a great like service. So yeah, it's awesome.
Thanks, man. I think I didn't realize that. I mean, I'm new. I literally do not use TikTok, guys. I'm saying that because I don't. One, I don't want to, because I want to be different. I have a vision in my mind of what I want, and that's what I want to curate. So I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I want to do what's in my mind. I want to make a stream and content that I want to make, that I would watch, right? And I think that I didn't realize that basically allowing these people to be on here, it allows them to endlessly troll for money, basically, by staying on and in the voice chat and constantly getting like money for being there and just going around and around in circles. So that was part of my realization with the timer, that it's like I need some type of mechanism in order to get people like out. And I don't want to be the person that's deciding that. So the timer seems the best way to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a lot of people will like rage bait and then just
Mm-hmm.
farm money, like you were saying, and yeah, so it's toxic. It's
Yeah.
super toxic. I left. I had to go to sleep last night, but I left probably at peak unhinged, where I was like, I mean, I saw the viewers go to 500, and I was like, holy crap, this is like blowing up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I I hope that people um realize that it's not going to be like that in the future, but at the same time, trust me, and to try to make it better, and I think that we need to make it productive. And I really do think that we can have a community of people that are trying to improve themselves, and that is just an infectious thing when you have people that are trying to better their lives together. And I think that we can do that. And I think that that's something that I want to do. Actually, like, I really want to do that, maybe, like, and that's the mechanism that I'm thinking with, like, the subs or something, just to create some type of mechanism where I could do a private stream or something, and every 2 weeks, every month or something, have, like, an actual, like, career advice, life advice, I don't know, like a group chat kind of thing, so that everyone could come together and to try to have, a more private discussion to help through things and mentor things, basically mentor people to going through whatever they're happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. A lot of right now, what I've seen is a lot of scientists will use TikTok as a debate platform, right?
Yeah.
So they'll debate like atheism or whatever. And it's kind of a bummer because when you're a scientist, you kind of want to do science, right?
Yeah.
Or science communication. But I was even thinking recently, because I met a scientist on TikTok and we published a paper, and actually today, and he forwarded me an email from the publisher saying that they have like 161,000 downloads on their paper, which is like the most they've ever had.
Hmm.
And so I think TikTok's a great way to build a community
Yeah.
and network. But I was even thinking, with you specifically, I was like, I got to this point where I'm doing a lot of computational work, and
Yeah.
I was playing with an enzyme, and I was like, this light bulb went off where I was like, oh, I know a molecular biologist now.
Yeah.
Like I could like ask Dr. Greg questions about how to make this enzyme a reality, right? So stuff like
Yeah.
that, like even just science projects, right? Or publishing white papers or something fun, could be really cool.
Exactly. Dude, we have like high school teachers, here is we can, like, and I was like, dude, we can do Zoom calls or something, and they can ask me what it's like to be a scientist and like basically have a career day or something. We can actually make a real like impact on people. And like my science lab that I first joined was an incredible experience, because it really was like a group of people that were working to make the world a better place. And irrespective of money, irrespective of um, all the problems in the world, we're just making a little bit of it better. And I think that that's the big aspect of it. The world and the culture, it's so toxic now. It's a lot more toxic than before, and I feel like we have to change it in whatever way that we can together. I think that it would make a huge difference for some
E-
people.
Exactly. And one thing that I was thinking about throughout the last couple months is, like funding for science has always been underfunded,
Hmm.
but to see an administration just rug pull funding from the entire kind of like National Science Foundation and so much other areas of research that just have the word, trans or
Hmm.
diversity in it. Um, they just pulled funding from it, right? And one thing that I was thinking about is, how do you decentralize funding for science, or how do you crowdsource funding for science, right? And that's something
Yeah.
that TikTok feels like a powerful mechanism, but also there's other mechanisms out there that I think are really powerful for making it crowdsourced. But I do think, like, the era of citizen science is going to emerge, because government institutions, I mean, I thought we could always rely on them, but
Yeah.
it turns out that, maybe you can't.
Do you know I was looking at a um I was thinking about mulling this over, basically, kind of like how that, like, a makerspace kind of idea, but having it with like labs and biology and molecular biology and stuff. And like you want to learn how to make your own tomato plant or something, and you could, genetically modify it, and that kind of stuff. So I think it would just be there'd be a cool way to get people kind of involved in that way. But yeah, the maker space would be an interesting idea, I think. But crowdfunding's tough. It's just not a lot of it. That's the problem, is that you need really
Yeah.
millions in order to make something that's even like a $2 million NIH grant or something. It's not much. You got
Well,
60% going to direct, indirect costs, and then you have to pay for labor and then instruments. It's crazy.
yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, even with TikTok, you see a lot of the big top creators, they're pulling in, like hundreds of thousands of coins a night, and they have
Dang, are you
thousands of
serious?
subscribers. But TikTok takes a huge cut out of that, right?
It's
And
like
so
50% or something.
I think it's like maybe even 60, I saw. But either way, it's such a huge percentage, but I think the money is there if you can create excitement and engagement. It's just a matter of, but I agree with you. I think it's you
So
don't want to rely on privately funded research, or at least like philanthropically funded research.
So Ruben, there's been tons of research and improvement for cancer. So basically, the untargeted approach that was before, like CRISPR was involved, was basically a broad targeting impact where you're just having these cells be impacted by platinum or any type of transcription inhibition, so that you're kind of killing random cells, all the cells. Now, with targeted gene therapy approaches, we're actually figuring out which cells are which, and then having those cells be infected specifically with gene therapies. So there's tons of research going on, but one of the misnomers is calling it all cancer, because there's tons of different ways that basically cellular regulation can be disinhibited. And there's tons of different genes, tons of different pathways, tons of different mechanisms. So there's actually like hundreds of different types of cancers. So we have tons of improvements all over the place. So, um, so
What did you think of, when do you remember when the HeLa cell kind of like thing came
mm,
out, where we realized that cancer cells were kind of evolving, or at least like the main baseline strain for cancer cells in
yeah,
labs were evolving, right? Which is kind of a no-brainer, but
yeah,
I think scientists weren't tracking that evolutionary drift, and so like the cells kind of just became super specialized in a specific type of mechanism that maybe was not reflective of another like good model for cancer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot with like algae too, like where it's like you create this strain bank and then you have a aliquot of it and you just get the evolutionary like shift over time. I mean, HeLa cells are what is it like a liver cell, a cancerous liver cell that they've that create from what person, and it's just been growing and growing and growing, and basically for human cells, what is, it's harder to grow a human than it is a cell tissue culture of a human, right? So the first step in seeing if this actually makes any sense is basically a unicellular human cell, and this is by definition, a cancer. Um,
Right. And Ruben actually just brought up an interesting question about like the old vaccine vectors versus
Cervical cancer. Thank you, Omar.
the mRNA vectors.
Hmm.
Um, isn't mRNA like more scalable or faster than these kind of like older technologies?
I think that's the idea. Yeah, you can basically synthesize them a lot quicker. So you can kind of stitch them together, or um, versus like cloning them into a plasmid and that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit faster. I think that's
Yeah, and I think
the idea.
I think because Ruben was saying like, why is Russia using the old one? But I think it really is a technology thing. Like, I
Yeah.
think Russia doesn't have the mRNA technology that the US has.
Well, I mean, you have
Um,
to basically do in a different step, right? So you have to do in vitro transcription of the RNA, and then that requires a lot of fermenters that are going to be glycerin chilled, and you can have degradation of RNA really easily because it's inherently uh, not as stable as plasmid DNA. So wherever you can, you usually go with something like a plasmid, I think, but the idea is that you can specifically get the RNA and how it's specifically that you want.
right, and I remember there's been something different with the preservatives too, because I know that there was this like scare about mercury in vaccines,
Hmm.
and it was used as a preservative, but it's a chelated version of mercury, right? So it's not free mercury, and so I think there's like a lot of misunderstanding of what that actually, how different that is. But your body can't just, free that chelating agent from the mercury ion, right? So,
Yeah, I think
but
that's the biggest thing is like, I mean, people are talking about like chloride or, oh my gosh, but then it's like, or a fluoride in the tooth, in the water or something like, oh, it's so dangerous. And you're like, well, that you're not, it's not ingesting like fluoride gas or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a, it's a cation. It's been figured out and it's safe. I mean, that's also kind of one of the big problems with the idea of like these vaccine ingredients lists. It's kind of scaremongering them. So
yeah, I saw that too, where this guy was talking about pouring water on hot stones in a sauna, and he's like, use
mhm.
distilled water because the fluoride causes fluorine gas, and that will kill you. And it's like, dude, that's not how it works at all. But
No, thank you,
um,
Change. Appreciate you.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it is crazy. Um, I wanted to like just talk real quickly though about the CDC stuff, and like I think that people don't realize that like scientists are kind of more exposed than normal people, because we kind of have to have our names out there in order to have our publications out there. Even if I didn't like have my name as connected to like my threads or something that I posted, like there's only one person in the world that's studying algae and nanotechnology, guys, that I talk about all the time, and you're looking at them, right? That's the whole point. I'm kind of like there's a couple papers that are older, and then it's my papers and what I'm doing. So, you know, um, you can figure me out really easily, and um, you're targeted for harassment a lot as a scientist now. It's not like this idea that oh, Copernicus and Galileo were targeted and killed, and now science is kind of mainstream and it's okay. Like we, as my lab, my PI's lab, we made it into the QAnon world. So we were targeted for harassment. You know, we had death threats made to our lab. We had to have security walk people to their cars because we would get, you know, harassing emails saying that they're going to show up and they're going to, you know, do whatever. So it is, you know, it happens. It happens. I've had, I was in a Twitter that a debate thing with, I was pointing out that RFK's science advisor, they were wrong, and I was pointing out how, and that the RFK science advisor called my university and tried to get me kicked out of my program. So, you know, people like this stuff does happen still, and it happens, like targeted. I've been the victim of it. I have friends that have been the victim of it. This isn't just like some type of old thing that's not happening anymore. It's on the contrary. And even Tennessee tried to ban like our research and tried to ban basically the creation of vaccines inside of plants. It's because they're afraid of that it's going to show up in lettuce leaves at the grocery market. So it's, you know, total fear mongering, causing a huge problem. So, yeah, it
Wow,
does.
that's
It happens, man. It really does, and it's sad. And so this happening at the CDC and people shooting up the CDC. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about it at all. So, um, people foment these, you know, these dangerous ideas, and people that take it on themselves to actually do it.
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. One thing that I feel like people don't understand about scientists,
Hmm.
well, especially when they spot out like a conspiracy theory, is
Hmm.
the amount of training that a scientist will undergo, the amount of school versus the amount of pay they get after is so lopsided, right? That
Yeah.
like you're pretty much like a starving artist. Like you're doing this literally for love of the game, right? To
Hmm.
like, and you have a lot of scientists have noble like intentions, right? Like they want to save the world from climate change. They want to cure
Hmm.
cancer. They want to do these things. And so you hang on to these motivations and you make it through school, and at some point you get a reality check, and you know you start kind of like, I've met a lot of jaded scientists because of the reality of the economy, et cetera. And
Yeah.
there have been corrupt scientists out there, but for the most part, it's overwhelmingly good people. And so when people say that there's a huge conspiracy that all these scientists are in on,
Yeah.
I know in my heart that that's like impossible, right?
Yeah.
Because I've met too many good scientists at the FDA even, and I know the FDA gets a lot of shit, but some of the most brilliant people I know are at the FDA, you
Yeah.
know, doing regulatory kind of work. But yeah, the CDC is even like I can't even imagine like Fauci, like what it is to be Fauci, right? Like when he got the
Yeah.
presidential pardon, people were like, "Why did he get a pardon?" Right? And I was like, "Probably because of this harassment that's going on, right?" Like,
Yeah, dude.
so
It's, I mean, yeah, it's wild, man. I don't, it makes me so frustrated. Um, yeah, it makes me so frustrated, man. I think um, it's just something that I never thought I would see, you know, the open, um, I think there's always obviously been a strain of anti-intellectualism in the United States, and that exists, but there's a strain of, I don't know, like an otherism or a xenophobia, I guess. Like, and we as scientists are the deep state now, you know, and that's the scary thing.
yeah, and it's even made it to a point where like you know, like when you're I had a parent, I had a friend who had a kid recently, and they were going in for their, you know, they're very pro vaccine
Hmm.
obviously, and they were going to get their kid vaccinated, and they vaccinate your kid in like 2 sessions,
Yeah.
right? And they give you multiple vaccines per session. and he was like scared to say like, "Hey, can we spread it out?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up talking to a doctor about it, and they said, well, the reason why they do that is because most parents don't like they're not on top of this like spread out vaccine schedule.
Yeah.
They like to condense it, and there's no signs of or the data suggests it's harmless to introduce multiple vaccines at once.
Mm-hmm.
But even stuff like concerned parents, like even like all of this polarization has made it even difficult for just like a concerned parent to express themselves. So it sucks, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Nico, thank you for being in here, man. I appreciate you, and thanks for like talking to me about the stuff before, and then the all your stuff with the data science. I love it. So I'm gonna
Yeah, man,
just rotate you out and get talk to Uptown. So thanks,
for
man. I
sure.
appreciate you.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Alrighty, we're gonna try it for the first time, guys. Let's see. Here we go. Uptown, how's it going, man?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm 35. I'm in Colorado.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a question. You said there was like anti-intellectualism.
Yeah.
I feel like the anti-intellectualism is also inside the field of inside like doctors. I have a friend that became a doctor, heavy right winger, right in Tampa, and he's very, very like anti-intellectual. I do labor organizing for a
Mm-hmm.
living through the
Nice.
IBW, and I've worked with the nurses union.
Okay.
They're very receptive to thought like vaccine thought processes, or that there's a anti-intellectualism spreading throughout the United States. The worst problems I have normally are with doctors. Is like very anti-intellectual or individualistic in
Yeah.
thought process. Do you run into this a lot?
Oh, well, so I'm a PhD, not an MD, but
Oh,
I
okay.
do see physicians like they have continuing credits that they have to go to, but I'm not, in my personal life, this is just anecdotal, but I do see that people have a proclivity to be kind of stuck in the year that they kind of graduated in, where it's like the amount of schooling and the amount of um, kind of like accepting of new technology can be tough, for a lot of them. Unless it's like a huge watershed moment, then they'll usually like take it over or something. But you're not going to have like, it, yeah, physicians usually so specialized that I don't think that they really have to like their
Organize themselves in any way. Yeah,
yeah, or
yeah.
their field isn't like being revolutionized necessarily.
Uh-huh. They just have the I've ran into like he has very little forward thought. I have another girl that I graduated high school with, and I keep up with her sometimes, but she
Mhm.
does reef work in Miami.
Oh,
So
cool.
with the reefs, she has like a company, but she's also very I wouldn't say like it's liberal in thought, but it's not like progressive thought processes aren't there a lot of times. Like I run in
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's like, where's the progressive thought processes, or like that things are getting bad. Like, and you're in she's in the field of sciences, but she
Hmm.
doesn't seem very aggressive towards like organizing at all. Like they're just not thinking this way at all. It's like they're all in their own little worlds without
Yeah.
any thought of like working together towards making things not either get worse or get better at all. Yeah,
I
I didn't
mean,
know if you see that in your fields at all,
I
like the other
I see
scientists.
that. I mean, like with I was involved with the union at so we're the UAW for the UC system, and yeah, there's lots of like basically science and specifically research science is really siloed. You're really an individual, kind of like working inside this bigger thing, and you're really uh, pushed not to like socialize necessarily. It's kind of like, I mean, they'll let you kind of like socialize, but at the same time, it's not going to be like, oh wow, there's a lot of initiative here in order for me to socialize. When it's like I need to get my work done. I need to graduate. I need to get done. I need to publish. And when you're going out and you're trying to do unions work, and people don't appreciate that. So it was really hard to get people to sign up. And then the UAW would do like weird things where it's like they didn't allow electronic union signups for the longest time, even though they passed it in their bylaws like 10 years ago. They didn't allow us to use it for our cards. So
Yeah,
we're like,
they do weird shit in IVW like that too. Yeah.
it's very, very frustrating because you're like, dude, this would be so much easier if we didn't have to scan all these things in, and then we have to make a PDF, and then we have to email it to someone. You're like,
Or they won't like organize certain parts. I'm like, why are you not organizing these people? And there's internal issues there also within the unions. I just noticed like I don't know why there's like the higher up, I'd say like white collar, I guess, refuses to just organize in any possible fashion a lot of times. So it's like the people at like the bottom, like you said, they are more individualized. I guess that's what's going on there. Yeah, but I think that's like a main issue is that the sciences aren't organized to push back against this stuff a lot of times. So it kind of just washes over them.
yeah, and especially considering that like the more educated you are, the more likely you are to be like liberally inclined too. So it's like those are the people that you would think that would be more educated on the benefits of like a union and stuff like that. So I mean, you're right. Those are the people that should be the sinkers, but it's always just like like pulling teeth. Like I always hated doing the rounds and asking people like about the union stuff, but I don't
All right,
know.
yeah, it was nice talking to you. I just ran into your page and I was like, you're interested. I'll follow you though.
Oh,
Thank you so much, bro.
Cool. Thanks, man. All right, have a good one.
Bye. You too.
Cool. That was awesome. The clock, not even necessary, guys. We're doing it. All right. I hate the clock, but I also feel bad otherwise. I don't know. I like just the. All right. How's everyone doing? Okay, cool. Oh, sweet. Okay, call me Bob. What's up, Bob? How's it going, man?
I'm not a man. Just let's start with that.
Oh, sorry.
Just to let you know.
That's straight. Okay.
I think it's really excellent for you to experiment with different ways to manage your life.
Okay,
And
cool. Thank you.
don't feel guilty and don't feel like you have to apologize.
Okay.
It's your life, and you get to run it in a way that you think is conducive to the conversation you want to participate in.
Cool. Thank you for empowering me. I appreciate that.
And and people who are anti-science or just want to argue the stupidest points ever, they don't get to tell you how to run your life.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a weird thing where they could farm me for the ability to make money, but so the thing that I can't get around, I guess, is like they could just go live themselves and then get all the same subscriptions or whatever or their money if they just did their own live, right? I mean, so then how am I helping them, I guess?
Right? And you don't have to.
Okay.
You're not obligated to entertain every person who comes through here. You're not obligated to put every person on panel. You're not obligated to platform anything that you find if somebody is saying something heinous. You don't have to platform that. They have other places to do it. And you don't have to feel guilty about that. And you can tell the live, like, hey, no partisan politics in here. Hey, no X in here, no Y in here. We don't do that here. Set your boundaries, and that is okay.
Yeah. I feel like TikTok has a weird proclivity, and I'd heard about it before, but like the doxing stuff, they just kind of like don't really regulate that at all.
You're right. And it's really a common thing for people to use threats on here for people they don't like.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Never before have I ever taken those threats seriously online, really, until here when I ended up having people trying to find where I lived. They broke
Jeez.
into they hacked an account of mine. Luckily, they found. Luckily, I practically don't exist on paper, so
Mm,
it helps.
that's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, and another thing that some creators find helpful is to start a Discord channel where they can have like offline discussions with their mods and their kind of their more trusted fans and say,
Yeah.
okay, what do we see? And like you can have kind of we'll just say sort of like a steering committee.
Yeah.
And you can invite people who maybe have more experience with the TikTok milieu, who can
Yeah,
maybe
I
say,
think
okay,
I love Discord personally. I have nothing like
yeah,
against it. I guess the real problem, I guess, that I've seen in prior things, like because I was in the Twitch science communication
uh-huh.
world and that kind of stuff, and one, a lot of the Discords just die. Nobody like
Oh,
kind of
they
like
do.
chats at all, and then
Yeah,
two, it kind of creates like another headache for like that I have to moderate, and now I have to like make sure that that's like okay and that's not a
yeah,
toxic place. So that's why I was like, maybe with like subscribers or something like that, then I could
yeah.
help. Like then it's like those people are like bought in, and then that's where we can do kind of like
Hmm.
voice chats or weekly stuff, so we can like check in and
Hmm.
group chats.
I
So
think. I think it's a resource to explore. That
mm,
doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find that it's the resource you want to use, but it's just it tends to be good for chatting about kind of the mechanics of running your live
yeah,
and plan and you can plan topics and you can and then you can then you can also like your fans can help you gather resources like, hey, I follow
yeah,
this other great creator.
dude, it would be
uh
great to
you
have
know
like, for example, ideas that people see, or like the topics that they want to discuss, and then we can talk about it,
right.
so the like, topic suggestions and things like that, that'd be really nice. I think what is the subscriber or the posts, like honestly, the TikTok like UI is very confusing to me, all like the sub
It
menus,
is.
and I don't really get it. But is there like posts and stuff that I could do? I could put up a post, and then people could like weekly put
Yes,
in things that,
you can set you can create some posts that are subscriber only
mm-hmm,
posts. So then there are things that only your subscriber. I can talk. So it would be things only your subscribers could see.
gotcha.
Um, Another thing is that you can. Siggy says do a PowerPoint.
Yeah. I
Just
I mean, that's it's interesting you say that, dude, because like the literally the for for scientists, like PowerPoint is actually like huge. I mean, that's what we use all the time.
yeah,
So I'll think
yeah.
about it.
It still works in science. Like when you're trying
Yeah.
to present your ideas, PowerPoint really is quite effective at doing that. It
It's
used to
true.
be when you got your PhD, you had to learn all that special formatting for typing your dissertation.
Hmm.
And I was a kid when my dad was at Caltech, so I actually learned all that formatting and how to type dissertations and stuff when I was really young. But now it's like get your PhD and you also have to know PowerPoint for sure.
For sure. Oh, for sure.
It's like you gotta. There's just certain things that you have to master. PowerPoint's one of them.
You really can't get away from it. I actually tried to look at different ways you can do, like with Python, and there's a lot of other like programs that do exist,
Uh-huh.
but it's just everyone uses PowerPoint, so everyone like it's expected that
It's
all
just, you know,
the
it's
programs.
simple, it's easy to understand, and it's
Yeah.
available everywhere. So, you know,
Mm.
it works.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Brittany,
I
Brittany,
appreciate you.
what are you freaking out about in the comments, Brittany?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She's calling us liars when we're talking about PowerPoint.
Yeah,
But
it's
I think I may have been in your very first live.
oh cool. Yeah, I remember talking to you.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed seeing you develop and grow. I just
Oh,
heard
cool.
they mentioned you over in Good Troubles Live.
That's what I
So
heard.
if you've been on Good Troubles radar, that can help you build. There's some other creators that we can introduce you to that have done different things in science communication that can teach you different things about what they've done on TikTok. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if you know Dr. Blitz yet, but
No.
he's a physicist, but he's been a very effective science communicator on here, and he makes a huge income at
Huh.
it. So, considering, you know, like he's supporting himself with the income,
Oh,
which is
dang. Wow.
huge. Which is huge for you know, for somebody who's still doing like their post grad work, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there are ways if you want
Hmm.
to like really turn it into a thing, you can.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep it more casual, you can. It's just really up to your level of how deep you want to get into it, how much time you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting like you got a minute. And then yeah, it's interesting. I guess like I'm not opposed to pushing on all doors. Let's just put it that way. Like I'm okay to see where it goes. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm curious,
Yeah.
I guess. So I'm TikTok curious. TikTok curious. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I've been enjoying you,
Thank you.
and just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And you know, there are lots of people who will answer questions for you and want to see you do good. So keep it up.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, talk to you soon. All right, Brittany, you're next. Brittany South. How's it going?
Fine. It's going fine. How are
Cool.
you?
Good. Good. What do you want to
Why
talk
are you?
about?
I want to talk about why you're AI and why you're faking people out. It's not fair. It's very dangerous what you're doing to other people. You shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I get that you don't give a fuck, but you shouldn't be doing this to other people. They're stupid, and I know that because I have to take care of them on a regular basis. So I have to take care of people that are this stupid. So I have to talk to people like you, which are fucking AI. Stop preying on people. What are
Why
you
am I
doing?
AI? What am
Honey, I know
I?
you are.
How am I AI
And we
though?
can have wonderful conversations too. I could get into fantasy with you because you're AI. You'll do whatever I want you to. I know this, but I'm asking if you could just, but you can't, so it's fine. I don't even know how I ended up talking to you. I don't like it. I don't want to.
How's it going? Are you okay?
Exactly. You're 100% AI. This is ridiculous.
How? Why?
And is this what they think women want from men? Is this what they think? Is this the algorithm that you're portraying? They think they want like white hair up on top and then like a black beard? No, baby. No, baby. We want black hair up on top as well as black beard with a little salt and pepper. You got it wrong. Your
Sorry.
little AI
I'm
game
sorry.
you got going on. Yeah, you're
Okay.
sorry. I bet you are because you're fake as fuck.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna talk to Barrett now. I hope you have a good night. Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, bye. Oh man. Okay. Everyone's got to chill. It's okay. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So, yeah. Okay. Barrett, how's it going?
Doing all right. Hey, what's up, man? That
Good.
last one was kind of wild.
It happens sometimes. It's okay.
All right. So this is a open topic, or how does this
whatever
work?
you want to talk about, man.
All right. I'm down for anything. You want to talk about some politics?
Whatever you want, man.
All right. Which candidate do you support? Do you like Trump?
No, I supported Harris.
I did too.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you religious?
No.
Not religious.
I would call myself a Christian atheist. So basically, like, my morals are kind of like aligned with what Jesus Christ would say, but I just don't believe like in the him being the Son of God, the Holy Trinity kind of thing.
All right. I think I agree with you there.
Okay.
How about a more conceptual one? Do you believe in free will?
Oh, that's a really good question, man. I mean, the research has said that we actually make movements with our peripheral nervous system kind of thing before like our central nervous system is even triggered. So the latest research says that we're kind of on a little bit of an autopilot, but I don't think I believe in like destiny. I believe that like even as a person, I've kind of changed. Since I was 18, I've kind of been a different person every day. I mean, every year. I'll really kind of like improve. I'll change things about myself. So, there's a lot of versions of me. So I think that I have the willpower in order to change and be different.
I think I would agree with you there. I think that, we do have free choice, which impacts what we do and, which forms us as a person and how we go throughout life. But as far as, destiny goes, I do think it's actually very linear. I do think that it is predetermined. I think I have more of a scientific argument for that. A statement I heard by Sam Harris, who is a neuroscientist, which caught me, was that, let me try to phrase it correctly. All occurrences are determined by pre-existing and uncontrollable variables. And that includes the events within our brain. And the two things which we have to formulate what we do in our every moment are our nature and our nurture. I would say our nature is, our biology when we're born, and our nurture is what occurs every moment after that. And each moment we're using the previous moments preferentially to make a decision. And I would say at no point or any moment does that leave us any more than one option. And for that reason, I would say that while we change, while we grow, appear different, and have various preferences and character traits, I would say that we are always bound to the moment and bound to a singular choice within the options available. So I would say I don't think free will can exist.
Interesting. But even if it's like the environmental stimuli is basically coming in, and you're saying that because the genetics is presuppositioned, that there really is no way that you can have multiple genetics, so that you kind of are responding with what you have.
Yeah, and as far as external stimuli goes, I would say that the direction, formation, and functionality of whatever that stimuli is also predetermined. The way I had it explained to me was that say you have a box, and within that box you have a ball going in a given direction, and with science, if we know the speed and direction of that box in relation to its environment, we can determine forever in the future where that ball will be, and also where it has been in the past. And I think that the same logic applies if you throw trillions of balls in that box, which are bouncing among one another, comparable to atoms in the universe.
Would the box be in that analogy? Would that box be like our free will, or would it be kind of like the ability for us to, like, what would the box be in that analogy?
Yeah, it's actually a lot more literal. I would say the box is just the universe, and the ball would be the atoms or the material things within that universe. So if you track any one atom, and its speed, its direction, and its relation to its environment, exactly where it will go and where it has been. And even if you introduce however many more balls or variables into that, you can calculate exactly how they will interact with each other and how they have interacted with each other in the past. And that leaves a linear and singular option for where they are and how they interact with every given moment. And that includes the events within our brain and how our brain responds to external stimuli, such as our environment and other people.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like
I guess like my inherent question would be, like, what if there's more than balls in the box, kind of thing? Like, what if we don't know what's all in the box, and what if there's like more than balls in there that are interacting, and could that have an influence on those balls and the direction and the speed that they're moving? But I think your counterpoint would be that, well, we know the outer limits of the box, so it doesn't, we know the end product. And I think that's kind of the larger point that you're making with that analogy. Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of.
Dark matter, dark energy. Exactly. We're not going to always know like what's going on, but the box is still going to be the
there's
box.
two things to that. It's like the output, regardless of the variables, is always going to be singular, right?
Yeah.
For any equation, if you have set inputs, you're going to have a set output, and that output will not change no matter how many times you repeat the equation. But as far as our awareness of these internal variables, we're obviously, we don't know everything. We don't have knowledge of all the functions or occurrences in the universe. So we're not actually going to be able to make a certain determination because we don't have those variables. But the fact is that those variables do exist, and therefore there's one option. So the two things I've had is, if the universe is infinite, if there's infinite matter, then we're unsure, right? Free will very well could exist. But if there's finite matter and there is a limit to how much exists, that means that only one thing can happen in every moment. And whether or not we're able to track every ball, know ourselves whether or not how each of these occurrences will play out, the fact of the matter is there will only be one interaction, one occurrence, and one output from that equation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess the question would be like the multiple realities, or the 14 layers of realities, or whatever people they're talking about, like theoretical physicists. I guess that would be part of it, right?
Sure. And I think you could see that as possibly other boxes and other boxes with other balls, or just different ways to measure this box, right?
Yeah.
1D, 2D, or however many ways that we're currently unavailable to measure it.
Yeah.
But, my point simply is that, for any equation, set inputs have a set output. So long as there is finite things that exist, those things can only interact in a singular way in a singular moment, and therefore there is no alternative options.
Do you think that it's like freeing or limiting this viewpoint?
I think people try to make it very like nihilistic in things that it's not. I don't think it's necessarily either. I don't think that me thinking that there's a deterministic pattern to worldly interactions has any effect on my own determination or goals or what I do. Right? It just tells me that all of my goals, what I'm doing, how I'm changing, and how I will change, is all a result of things that are outside of me and outside of my control.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sweet,
hey, it looks
man.
like my timer's up, man, but
Sweet,
good talking
dude.
with you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was really interesting. I look forward to talking to you again. I appreciate it.
You're good. Be safe.
See ya. All right, Liam, you're next up, bro. Oh, yeah, you're next. You've been waiting the longest. All right, Liam, we're doing a 10-minute timer now. Oh, you're out of here. You actually left. I just hit accept and then you're gone. You broke. Okay, big beautiful baby. Is my internet going crazy? Okay, there you are. Big beautiful baby. How's it
Hi,
going?
hello.
Hello.
Is my first time? Yeah. I can ask any question, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
Because I saw your profile and you're kind of like a microbiologist.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask some questions about because I heard some people say that your gut health will definitely influence your mental health.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's a cool topic.
Okay. Can you introduce me more about it,
Yeah,
if you don't mind?
So basically, we have made the discovery in microbiology that there are lots and lots of different microbes, which is yeast and bacteria, kind of all growing together in these huge, large communities. So we found them in the oceans that we didn't think that they existed before. We found them in soil with plants and the root masses, and we found them in your gut. So we've actually been able to do sequencing of your gut, and your gut is like a really, it's all in your intestines or going around and around. But if you actually like stretched it out, basically what's going to happen is that there's going to be different parts of your gut that are colonized by different types of microbes, and these microbes do a lot of digestion basically. So they help break down nutrients that your body's taking in, and once it's breaking down, then it can be absorbed by the your gut line. The microbes get food, your body gets nutrients, and that's kind of that's the big thing. What we are finding is that there is a huge role for the gut microbiome to play in overall human health. So it's not just this food disposal kind of thing. So we found that it actually has a big impact on your antibody production for your immune system. It has a big impact on and this is kind of the more tenuous part, but they are finding a gut microbiome connection. So basically how that mechanism works, how your gut like signals, and the exact thing, how it's connected, we're kind of still researching, but it has a big part of you because there's just a lot of them. So if we actually counted you as your body, and we counted human cell, bacteria cell, human cell, yeast cell, basically it would be about 1-to-1. So you'd be about 50% human cells and 50% microbe. It's actually a little bit more if you include like red blood cells, and but those don't have a nucleus, so we kind of throw those away. And whether or not you need to defecate or not, obviously, like you have more bolus in your intestines, you're going to have more bacteria and microbes. But once you have a bowel movement, then it's about 1-to-1. So it has a huge impact on you. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, how does that affect my brain health or my mental health? For example,
we are still researching that, and that's a really good question. We don't know. So that's the real big research question right now.
because like I heard, like I read like some random articles. They told me like if you are kind of like depressed or something, or if you want to enhance your emotion or mood, actually you should pay attention to your gut health and like to have like those kind of like beneficial yes microbes in your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think like if I take any probiotics can be helpful?
So probiotics are kind of two different things. So what they say is probiotics sometimes, and what they mean is kind of yeast food. So they'll say yeast lysate. So basically, microbes that are in a cellular form and it's all intact. That's like a full living yeast cell, for example. And then when we pop that open, that's called the lysate. And basically, that's all the building blocks needed in order to make another yeast, because it was just a yeast, right? It'd be like fully building a Lego, a truck, and then smashing the Lego truck. And while all the pieces for the Lego truck are there, it's just that you need to reassemble it. The problem is that yeast lysate in that form is kind of like easy to digest, and it kind of gets taken in really quickly in the stomach. So it doesn't really feed your gut that well. So so that's kind of like you can see gut microbiome stuff, and you can look at the ingredients label, and if it's just yeast lysate, then it's kind of meh. But what you want something that has an active culture in it. So an active culture will actually help and establish some diversity in the gut microbiome. So diversity is just the amount of different types of species. So you don't want just like one type of microbe species in your gut. You want a lot of different types, and that creates that community, and that community will actually be able to nutrient cycle a lot better, and it'll actually be able to be a lot more helpful.
Thank you,
So Pasky.
It means like a lot of products won't work. That much, right?
If it's an active culture, then yeah, absolutely. So, but you can also take things that are like fiber, for example, is going to be good. So eating, so basically, as you go down the tube, think of like we're stretching out the intestine, right? And we start at the stomach, and then we move towards the end. Basically, the stuff that is easily digestible, so all the quick carbs, all that kind of the sugars, that kind of stuff, it's going to be quickly absorbed at the very beginning. And that's kind of what the microbes are living there are adapted to. And then as you move along, it's going to have harder and harder things to digest because it's just that's what's left over, right? So at the very end, you have kind of like the more fibrous ones. And so the idea is to kind of like use, for example, for me, I take psyllium husk. So psyllium husk is a volume agent, a bulking agent that creates kind of like some, fiber, helping psyllium. Yeah. And that helps. So that's kind of like helps gut microbiome, that it actually does help. And anything with active cultures is good. I used to do kefir. Oh, thanks, Pasky. I really appreciate you saying that. The kefir is actually a really interesting one. It's a KEIFER. It's basically a microbial culture that you do in your refrigerator. So you basically put milk in there. KEFIR, and you put I put whole milk in there, and then you basically like you swirl it. Yeah, kimchi's another one. PvP King's killing it right now. And you basically put I used it for smoothies. So kind of like I put a bunch of blueberries, strawberries frozen in there, and then I'd put kefir on top of it, and then put some protein powder on top of it, and it creates like this really nice liquidy yogurt. Exactly. Yeah, it's a really, really cool way of actually getting, and that's actually an active culture. So that's actually really cool, and it's really interesting. It's really fun to make. It tastes a little different. It's kind of like a yogurty taste, but with a smoothie, you can't really taste anything bad, and it's really good protein. By the way, it's really, really good for protein. I'm actually I might bring it back talking about it right now. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. That's probably the coolest thing I could recommend. But I got it on like a live active culture on like Amazon, and it gets shipped to you, and you just like throw it in some whole milk, and then you just swirl it a couple times a day, and that's good.
Got it. Thank you. So, which
Yeah.
means like, if I home, I mix at home some like fresh vegetables and with this kind of like curfew, right? And kimchi, yeah. So
Yeah,
homemade
kimchi's a good
food,
one.
fresh food
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
better than probiotics. I mean, those like less qualified one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you want fiber, basically. You want a bunch of fibrous plant material mixed in with, a lot of the nutrients, so that it can help feed that gut.
Yeah. Thank you. I know my
Cool.
time is up.
All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Yes, my English is not so good, but thank you for your patience.
Oh, no, it's amazing. No, it's all good. Yeah. If we did it in Spanish, it'd be even worse for me. So, all
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you
Bye.
for your time. Have a good one.
All right, Liam, you've been waiting, dude. All right, Eric, sorry, Liam, we're doing hard timers now, bro. So we got 10 minutes on the clock, just so that it doesn't last 2 hours.
I don't need more than 2 minutes, dude.
Okay. What's up, man?
Last night, I left you a message. I don't know if you got it. You're a busy guy. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I apologize a little bit kind of about what happened. I really enjoyed our conversation towards the beginning and then kind of where it went. Even though you gave me pushback, I think I gave you a lot as well. And just to round it off, I know we can bring other people up here. You're trying to get all these questions in, so thank you for taking me again tonight. But
Yeah.
The receipts would show, I don't know you, you don't know me, but kind of you to stand your truth. I think that you're married with kids. I'm the same guy, and I hold fast to that truth. Okay, and I've been a TikTok pretty big voice. I've done a lot of things, and you saw last night, what was it, 450 on your page?
Yeah.
And I mean, we could make the argument that it was from emotional women who were single that came in the panel that were targeting me because I voted for Trump, and then targeted you as well towards the end there. And you were just like, what the hell is going on right now? And then you just dropped the whole entire panel. Okay. But the thing that bugs me is, like, outside of all of that, if you can hear this, is the sides that are being taken. I come up in good faith and have a conversation with you. I don't agree with all the things that you stand for. You don't agree with me. We try to meet in the middle. But then there's like this, oh, you voted for Harris as well, and Liam, there'll be some lies told about him or whatever. Maybe not. You can judge for yourself. You'll go, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll side with this because this aligns more with what I believe. And it irritated me and it pissed me off. And I think that the ultimate truth of the one girl saying basically like, Greg, you're not standing up for what's right either. And you were like, what? What is going on? And then you're like caught in the middle of this Liam triangle, it seems like, because I voted for Trump. And it was diabolical. And I'm down there being talked about. And I'm just like, and It happens a lot. I'm not a whiner. I'm not going through any of that. We're gonna roll. We're gonna do jujitsu with each other one of these days. Okay?
Okay,
I
I'm
get it.
down.
Yeah. Rear naked jokes for you coming your way.
Straight ankle lock, bro. I'm coming for your knees.
But dude, listen. You were like very inviting. You were like, "Hey, come back. Let's have a conversation." Tonight is not the conversation to go in deeper on that. But I wanted to come back to be like, that wasn't cool what totally happened last night, because you were like, hey, do you mind if I bring someone else up? And that was more opposition for you, Joe. I know Joe a little bit on TikTok. I do think he's got some really cool points.
Mhm.
Maybe not the book he was trying to sell you. Okay? But he's a cool young man. He served
Yeah.
our country. He did some really cool things. And if
Mhm.
you round it all out and look at like last night for what was, I'm actually like, dude, that was wild, but there was a lot of fun that was had, and it was
Okay.
crazy and it was emotional. And I look back and I'm like, it was a cool night. It was a cool conversation. A lot of people were entertained. They liked it. Some parts of it.
Yeah.
That's about it, dude. You cannot take people's opinions up here on TikTok when you don't even know them, because maybe they voted the same, on the same way that you did. Can you hear any of that?
Cheeseburger, 2 fries, Coke, no large Dr. Pepper.
Because at the end of the day, you were targeted by the same person that doesn't like the way that I voted. You know that, right?
Yeah, I was, but you know what? Honestly, man, we're moving on, and I'm trying to. This is a productive space, and we're I want good vibes and good, positive community here, and I think, like, look, man, I don't stand for brigading at all. So if anyone here goes into another stream on my behalf and tries to brigade and harass anyone, like, they're going to be permabanned from here. Same thing with doxing. Doxing is not acceptable, and if you dox in this place, I will ban you again. So it's
So
like
last night,
can't.
you allowed it to happen when I told you that it was happening, and you were like, it's kind of whatever happens in the chat, it's fine.
That was a mistake.
And,
That was a
and
mistake.
when she came up and went after you and went after it's the same girl that I was telling you it was going to happen. So I want you to understand this. I like a lot of the things that you stand for. I know you want to try to get people healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I do see that. I see that love. I love listening to you talk about your mom. That was emotional. That was incredible. Okay.
Thanks, man.
There's a lot of things that you and I would agree on. Really, in our day to day, we would agree on a lot. We would probably hang. We'd probably have a great time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, there's a lot of takers out there, dude. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need popularity from you. I don't want this. I don't want that. I came up for a genuine debate and a good faith conversation, and towards the end it went off the rails.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that's not who I am. That's why I came back tonight.
Well,
that's it.
I think, like, I'm just gonna be going and forward, man. I think the one-on-one conversations is where it's the most productive, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing panels anymore, because it gets out of hand, and I can't
Absolutely.
It's just not worth it. It's not for me, like, I can't. I really want to dive deeply into, like, what you believe and why you believe it, and I can't do that if other people are popcorning in and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, it's just hard to maintain a strain of thought.
I agree, dude. And I like the way that you have conversations. I like the time, the time, and that you're allowing people to stay up here and talk to bring other people up. That shows that you're not one-sided as well. So anyway, that's it, dude. I don't really have anything else. There's other people in the queue. I just came up to kind of talk about what happened last night, because you dropped the panel. And I don't know, dude. That's it. At the end of the day, hopefully we have some cool conversations. I wish you well, and I'll stop back in. All right.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. Anytime. Sounds good.
All right, dude. Later.
All right, Eric. What's up? How's it going, Eric?
How's it going, man?
Good.
So yeah, I guess you're pretty popular on this platform, huh?
No, not at all, bro. I had it was just a weird thing that happened. Like it's all good. I mean, dude, I normally have like 20 people in chat, so that's just all what it is. So
You're getting there. You're getting there. So what I specifically, I guess, want to talk about. I guess it's going to range into a little bit of like economics, politics,
okay,
and health a little
sure,
bit. So I'm gonna try to you know cover all these grounds. But
sweet,
have you heard of something called a universal basic income?
yeah, absolutely.
You're familiar with
Hmm.
Andrew Yang by any chance?
Yeah, and what was the city in California? Like Colton that did
Stockton.
Stockton. That's it. Stockton did it. Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It has I think it's like a 3-to-1 economic advantage versus because you're giving people the money and then they're spending it directly into their local communities. So
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
like the money isn't going into like an investment bank. It's going right into uh, actually like being spent immediately. So it has a
Right.
huge benefit.
So I guess one of my main arguments, which is kind of hard to like put it out there in these TikTok debate panels, but
Hmm.
I guess this is a better platform too, is that we should definitely overemphasize like this policy as a way to start fixing a lot of issues in this country.
Okay.
So I don't consider myself a Democrat anymore because even people on the left aren't on board with this.
Okay. I mean, I like the idea of it, but like let's say that like AI like takes my job away, or I can't like I don't have a career anymore. Like I don't
Mhm.
know if like $1,000 a month is really gonna be able to like fill that void. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
the UBI has to be like $100,000 a year in order to actually be
Um,
kind of like viable. I feel like.
so I think that a UBI I feel should have been in place for the last couple of decades already. If it was already kind of tried in the 70s, it should have been as a labor subsidy, if anything, because you're right. $1,000 a month can't. It won't be able to completely fill in the gap of $100,000 a year salary. Right. That's just the math doesn't add up.
Yeah. I mean, thousand.
But
It's. I mean, Andrew Yang. We say $1,000, Ashley, because Andrew Yang talked about the UBI being $1,000 a month.
that's right, and I feel like that just takes into account. I guess it takes into account the lowest cost of living within rural America. I feel so. If you live in a major city, let's just talk about rent, for example. You're paying for like a single apartment, one bedroom apartment. You're gonna pay like $2,000 a month, right? But as you go further outside of the cities, the cost of living drops down significantly, right?
Yeah, just real quick. Universal basic income is the idea that basically you can give everyone, the entire population, a certain amount of money each month, so that
Yes,
it
correct.
allows them to basically survive. So you have like some type of food, shelter, water kind of
Yes.
like paid for. And the idea is that we have all these other federal programs like Medicaid, Social
Mhm.
Security, all these other things that are kind of like giving people money based off of needs based. And the idea being that if everyone just got the same level of stuff, then it kind of like allows a lot of those federal funds that are normally being used for Medicaid and all that kind of stuff to just be diverted into one pool. So then it's easier to administer, it's cheaper, and it
Right.
could probably be more funds. That's the general idea.
Yeah. So I guess where I'm trying to go with this is that this should be implemented now as a labor subsidy, right? As a way
Sure.
to help people. You could see it as a alternative to raising the minimum wage in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
where you're accomplishing the same end goal of increasing people's wages in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, while we still have our jobs, but I did say I was going to talk about our healthcare situation in America right now,
Yeah.
and so I guess this is a field that you're sort of you kind of have some level of expertise in, right? In terms of like you were talking earlier about gut health and all of that, right?
I'm a PhD, not an MD, but yeah, I mean, tangentially.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. But so in terms of like so in terms of how we're allocating government resources right now, you could say that right now, I don't know if you've seen the statistic or the it says it's being said that we're paying trillions of dollars in healthcare costs right now as a country, right?
Yeah.
And all of that kind of has to do with a lot of the advancements in medical sciences that we're kind of investing in, which is it's pretty good. It's amazing, right? All the cancer researches that are going on, and all the universities that have been, invested in to, get more cures out. But I feel like the underlying cause of why we're paying so much money in this country in the first place is because we have a population that tends to fall sick a lot easier than other people who are living in other countries. Are you familiar with the concept of blue zones by any chance?
Isn't it the places that they're living like on average like over 90 years old or something?
Yes, and a lot of these places, I think you'll find that there's a generation about the age of my great grandfather that are consistently living older than 80 years old. But the generation after that, or two generations after that, people are like dying at 60, I think, which includes people in my family, right? So I think that speaks a lot about how easy it used to be to stay healthy and how convoluted like trying to keep people healthy these days is, right? It's like it's as simple as like having like a traditional healthy diet that they used to have in like Mesoamerica or something like that,
I mean,
right? It's like
the problem with this like line of thinking though is that, I mean, the health expectancy or the life expectancy between like Mississippi and California is like 10 years. So it's like even within the United States, there's a huge
right.
dichotomy.
And I think Mississippi is one of the poorest states in this country, right? So it I think it speaks into poverty and how we have overly depended on like foods that are meant to stay on the shelf life for long periods of time to feed your population. So think about like all of the foods that you find on your supermarket, like all of the processed foods, right? Whereas a really true healthy diet will require a lot of fresh foods, a lot of fresh, a mixture of fresh fruits and vegetables and grains and, like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, the problem with that argument, though, man, is like we already have 90% food waste in the United States. So
yes, but
90%
that,
of the food that
that,
we make is already like wasted. So the idea that if there wasn't any preservatives in the food, you would have even higher amounts of food waste.
but that has to do again with our access or like how people in poverty have a difficult time accessing those foods, right? Those healthy foods. It tends to be more expensive to buy sometimes healthy like foods in a sense, or the sort of hectic lifestyles that we tend to follow when you're working two jobs or three jobs, the lack of time, energy to actually buy those healthy foods and cook it at home, or to invest time into learning how to cook those foods. That plays into a big role. So like you'll find this story that you'll find this story in poverty where you're a father is working two jobs to survive and to pay his bills or to buy a home, and he's just like not really taking care of his health. He's not having daily exercise routines, and it's like that necessity of having to work so much out of necessity that keeps us all in this unhealthy lifestyle sort of, or keeps us like consistently living these unhealthy lifestyles that tend to cause us to fall sick later in life.
I think
You,
that so I think in that story, basically that person is exploited at work. They're tired. And
yes,
they want
right.
some type of like dopamine on top of like they're just hungry. And
Yes.
so we have access to a lot of tasty foods. So what
Well,
happens
well,
is that they pick up a lot of processed foods, which
yes.
aren't dangerous or poisonous in and of itself. It's just that they're more readily available. And when you have more readily
Yes.
available foods constantly, they're making poor caloric, intake decisions, and they're eating too much of it, and they're
So
regurgitating themselves to obesity.
we're,
That's
we're,
where the
we're my,
disease comes from. It's the obesity. It's not like having
right,
a
right. But
processed food.
well, I'm gonna wrap up my argument because I ran out of time. I just
No, it's okay, dude. There's
noticed.
nobody else in the queue, so you're all good.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is we're investing all this money, allocating the trillions of dollars that we're allocating in like these the treatment side of healthcare, right? Meaning
Mm-hmm.
when people end up falling sick with cancer and all of these organ failures kind of things and all of these, everything that you mentioned, obesity related things, heart disease related things,
Mm-hmm.
that tend to be a consequence of these unhealthy lifestyles, right? And it's causing us not just the money, and it's just not just the money that's costing us. It's costing us in terms of like the pain and suffering that the families and the individuals that are sick, right? So it's so
Yeah.
much that we're spending on this. Whereas I would rather see that money allocated in that universal basic income way, right? Where it's an investment in your people to, like, for example, my dad worked 2 to 3 jobs, and
Mm-hmm.
instead of working those 2 to 3 jobs, well, he can do a regular 40, 50 hour work week. Every other week, he can do a little extra overtime and all that, but it's not out of necessity with people that are living in poverty. And so you're going to address the underlying conditions that exist in America that tend to, and of course, it's not just that. You're obviously going to have more a campaign, more awareness in terms of healthy choices and all that. There's already blue zone initiatives that have been happening here in America. We need more of that, but I would rather allocate the resources of our government money in a UBI to make help make people like take those healthy choices
Mm-hmm.
to prevent them from falling sick in the first place and avoid all of that treatment cost that we're paying for right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like the spending the money on prevention rather than the cure. Trying to
Yes,
stop
right.
it, early. I mean, I agree in the fact that like we should make. I mean, this is yeah. I agree so much that I think that we should actually be looking at giving like Ozempic to children, because there's morbidly obese children already, man, and you have like a lifelong
But
ailment and a disease for these kids, and they're getting set up for disaster later in life. So like I think that we have drugs now that can actually help, and we can actually have a huge quality of life. We can't solve capitalism, with necessarily, and the exploitation at work and the hyper availability of foods and the profitability of foods, but we can have, make drugs like cheaper and more readily available. So I mean, the effects of Ozempic are a lot less than morbid obesity. So
I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, I think that we in America tend to fall prey to the idea of, we're depending on consumerism to solve all of our problems, right? It's like, I get it. The advancements in science and all of this is pretty amazing in terms of all the chemicals that we've come up with that can really do a lot of things, right? But also our over dependence on these chemicals, meaning pharmaceuticals, right?
mhm.
I don't think it's the right way to go, man.
You don't think
Like
Ozempic is the right way to go right now?
no, not at all. Like
Oh
I
man.
think that look, I lived in Mexico for a bit, small town, when I was a teenager. You can tell the difference of when westernized foods were introduced and how obesity rise in those populations versus like I remember when I was younger and I would go visit and obesity wasn't really all that prevalent, right? And it's just like we're just it's like the story of the dentist that relies on the candy store to stay open so that he can you know stay
I've
afloat.
just, man, I feel like, I mean, you're right, and like there's systemic problems, and it's tough, but I feel like you have to make the most pragmatic decision possible in order to improve the most quality of life as possible, and that's like
And
that is Ozempic and stuff like that. I
see the thing is that a healthy life doesn't really cost that much. It shouldn't really cost that much. It's just that again, it's the idea. Like if you're talking about obesity in children, right? Well, what does that look like? I mean, and I can tell you because I grew up in like largely Hispanic households that sometimes they tend to have a lot of obesity in those kids, and it's like the lack of parental awareness to to lead the child to make healthy choices versus like catering to every one of their whims and buying them every single like high fructose corn syrup product that the eyes can lay their that the kids can lay their eyes on. It's like I remember when I was younger, like my parents bought like a whole stack of black beans, and that's what we ate for months. And it was like, fuck, I love black beans. It's like the best thing ever. And it's like, again, we're falling prey to this idea of like depending on like consumerism to solve all of our problems when that's the major cause of our problems, right?
I mean,
So and it's like that
yeah,
the
but dude,
parental
like
awareness.
the thing is, man, is like you're basically, the patient is in the emergency room and the hands cut off, and you're like the best, the most best way to have be a human is to have two hands, and it's like, well, the hand's already gone, man. Like we
Right,
gotta
I
we
get what
gotta
you're saying.
stitch this thing on right now, and we have to use like whatever tools we have in
Yes,
order
yes.
to do it. And it's
But
like
I
I
also
I
think,
agree with you that it would be better if people aren't morbidly obese going into
right.
adulthood. Or as an adult, but it is what it is. I mean, there's like what 180 million obese people in the United States right now, man, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's bad.
and honestly, think about it. Ozempic works and improves their quality of life not because they're more likely to eat organic foods, which is a scam, or
Mm.
any type of like raw ingredients. It's they're just eating less. They just
Well,
eat less and they're fine. So we have a food quantity problem in that we eat too much food.
there's something that you should look into too, which is there's a campaign that is raising awareness on the soil, and you were talking about this earlier. Biodiversity within our soil that leads the crops that are coming out to have less nutritional content. You were talking about gut bacteria, right?
Yeah, I mean
And
that's soil recycling, man. That's just like the nutrients over
right,
time gets kind of like gets zapped, and you got to like put in legumes to
right.
nitrify the soil again, and I
But
mean
again, like
that's
I guess what I'm getting at is that we need to start thinking outside the box. Like it's almost like I mean I came here as a universal basic income advocate, right?
yeah.
And the I'm trying to set the stage to start having alternative conversations than what you've I'm pretty sure last night that whatever that one guy was that was on before I was. Like it seems like we're having this very toxic dialogue here in the United States in
Okay.
terms of how to solve our issues, right? And we're all like at each other's throats, and it's like no,
Sure.
I truly think like everyone has it wrong at this point, and it's like here I am trying to present this alternative idea, and I'm not only that, but I'm trying to present like the perspective or like the narrative in which I'm trying to be like, hey guys, like maybe consider it this way, look at it this way, look at it from this angle. And I came at I came at it right now with like, oh, the money we're spending on healthcare right now, and you know, and it's like, why not invest that money on preventative care? You get what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
It's foundational in that it's trying to deal with the underlying issues of why we're struggling with all this shit. And I mean, think about it. Like, healthcare is a huge point of contention in government, right? It's a huge point of contention. Like, Republicans and Democrats are at each other's throats with it. But like, no one is.
I mean, I don't think people are really. It's not even top 30 issue that people vote on right now.
It's one of the. Well, I mean, it has an under. It's had the underlying. It's had the effect since 2016. It's one of the reasons why Trump was like so pissed off at Obama, right? It's Obamacare this and Obamacare that. It's like the reason why Trump became president, right? It's because Obamacare was the buzzword that Republicans were using back then, right? And it's like, again, like, I don't consider myself a Democrat either. Like, I'm not on either camp. I just think that we need to start thinking outside the box, and you'd be surprised.
But dude, like, I don't understand. Like, okay, I mean, the false equivalency, I think, is like makes sense in the year 2000 with Bush v. Gore, but to put them all the same, not knowing a difference is kind of ridiculous at this point. I mean, Obama, you know, Michelle Obama had the My Plate initiative where she was doing exactly what you're talking about, man. They wanted to redo the food pyramid so it was easy to understand, so that people could actually make a healthy meal. That they are trying to revamp school lunches. They put all that money into it, and then the Republicans, as soon as Trump came in, reversed everything. So it's like, I don't feel like they're both the same on this issue at all.
I think that one of my, and you know what's crazy is that I actually agree with like libertarians at this point, in that sometimes the convoluted way that Democrats try to solve issues is sometimes inefficient and wasteful. And I had a conversation with someone where I mentioned a universal basic income, and they said, "Oh, that's like a left-leaning libertarian idea, right?" And the reasoning is that, and this might sound a little unpopular, is that I kind of agree with the Doge initiatives of like reducing government waste.
Well, yeah, everyone does. It's like reduce the amount of badness. It's like, I mean, it's so.
Well, no, it's like okay. I'll give you another example. Like the way California has dealt with homelessness in the last 8 years, it's been documented that billions of dollars have been spent trying to deal with homelessness, and the New York Times came out with an article that said that a lot of that money is unaccounted for, and the results that we've gotten is nowhere near actually solving the issue, right? And then you dig in deeper, and it's like, well, what is it? Why is it? Where is the money going to? Well, there was a TikTok that video of a CEO getting interviewed. She was a CEO of a nonprofit meant to deal with the homelessness issue in California. She was getting upwards to almost $400,000 a year salary. And so now I feel like you could call it as a homeless industrial complex, right? It's like a lot of this wasteful, like convoluted mess that Democrats have used to try to solve these issues. It's just not. It's not doing it, and it's one of the reasons why Democrats are getting flack. You know, it's the reason why we get talk shit on here in California. It's because, like, yeah, you guys are all like trying to be like the humane guys, but you guys aren't solving homelessness. Do you get what I'm saying? Or like, for example, like Mayor Bass here in Los Angeles was like, "Oh, we need to build more affordable housing." Well, I've already seen one apartment complex go up, and how much would it cost to build one apartment complex that will only get 50 people off the streets? It's like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, and you only got 50 people off the streets. Like, try to house every other single homeless person like that. You're gonna go broke. Your budget.
I think I would love. Let's talk about. Let's just put a pin in it. That Daniel's like been waiting, but I think so. The homelessness issue. You should read the report that they put out. California put out. It's only about 80 pages. It's really interesting. It's their own expose on like where all the money went, and it's really interesting. And then
last argument. That one thing that a UBI could do is it could help relocate or give homeless people the resources to relocate to real estate markets that are affordable within rural America. where $1,000 a month will be enough to cover your rent in rural Michigan,
Yeah.
rural Iowa, rural Kansas, and it's just a cheaper way to deal with that issue, I guess.
No, I'm with you, man. People have to live other than like, LA in order to be able to afford these type of stuff. We can't. Yeah, it's if it's going to be universal, it's got to be the dichotomy between the rural and the cities. There's just too much.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to pay.
Yeah, man. Well, it was
has to
great.
be. Anyway, it was good talking. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, of
interested to
course.
talk to you about housing later, though. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Have
All
a
right,
good one,
man.
man.
You too.
Sweet. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's on your
I
mind?
kind of joined late, so I didn't know what like your debates are about. I just saw your title, Dr. Craig
Okay.
debate, so I didn't know
Yeah,
what the
dude.
topics were.
I mean, well, I'm a scientist, so you can ask whatever questions you want. You have like a science thing that you're curious about, or whatever's on your mind.
What do you think about like either like mental health on how it's diagnosed and stuff like that?
Man, so I'm actually a huge proponent of therapy. Like, I think
Mhm.
that therapy is really good when things are going good. Like when you actually, I think the misconception is that you see a therapist when your life is in tatters and you don't know what's going on. But I think the idea of actually seeking out someone and just having those conversations on how to make those tools more readily available when things go bad. So, for example, I've done, like, my wife and I did marriage coaching before we were married, and that was like really, really formative because there was a lot of tools that we learned, like, oh, this is how you like to do this in these type of scenarios. And because we weren't in a fight, right, we weren't at each other's throats, and we were actually learning how to better deal with one another during that. And yeah, I've had mental health problems with I had a little stint with like Adderall where I got basically to I was basically abusing it, and that was causing me to have like manic depressive episodes. And I basically had to kind of like see a therapist and talk about it and work through it. And I quit cold turkey, and it's been great. But it's good to like talk to someone without judgment, and that can actually relay things that are just like they're not your friend, they're not your loved one. You're never going to see them again if you don't want to. So you can kind of be an honest in a way that's really freeing. So
Mhm.
it really allows you to get through some stuff, and they can ask some questions that you really have never thought of before. And yeah, I think mental health is incredibly important.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. But what do you think about like the specifically like diagnosing, like the science behind diagnosing? Because I feel like that's when it becomes like somewhat of like an issue in a way.
Are you talking about like self-diagnosis or like
No,
the
like just the actual diagnosing through like the DSM-5. I just find it like personally problematic, so I kind of just wanted to know your input on that.
I mean, I would think that you should yes, yeah, Bob, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it would be like a medical professional and talking to the right one in order to get diagnosed. I mean, are you talking about like using psychiatry versus psychology and trying to like use different types of like tests that aren't based on like your feeling?
Yeah, I guess like it just to me, I find that most of the or pretty much all of them are not based on like any objective biological data. So that's when I find
Gotcha.
it kind of runs into a lot of problems where a lot of people are misdiagnosed or just diagnosed with something that they don't have, and then they're treated for something that they just never had, and actually just exacerbates like their issues more. So that's
Mm.
kind of where I find it problematic that it's never diagnosed off like any type of biological data.
I mean, I've heard of like fMRIs, so functional MRIs that basically look at your like the brain as it's going. You could add stimuli to that.
Yeah, those are like PET scans they
Yeah.
use as well. But they don't use them to diagnose. Sometimes they'll just use to see like what type of activities like in the brain, but they won't like
Mhm.
they won't do an fMRI on someone and then diagnose them with like a mental disorder because they don't know what an objective baseline is. So it's kind of hard to diagnose them off that. So I don't know. I just kind of find that a little bit problematic in a sense where sometimes people get it and then they'll get prescribed something.
Yeah.
They maybe not even they're taking some type of medication. They don't even have whatever they're told
Yeah.
that they have.
Chill Bill was interesting, like talking about genetics, susceptibility to some medications. I would think that there would be probably some medications that would work much better based off of some type of genetic mutation, or if you have, some type of, I mean, obviously like some type of tumor or something like that, that would be a huge, thing that could alter all of your mental health. Um, that makes sense. Yeah, single nucleotide polymorphisms can like make a huge difference, like for that. So yeah, that makes sense to me. So yeah, it's tough.
Do you think do you think they should get to a point where they're doing it like off like some type of like biological data, like objective tests, not just like more just subjective questioning? Would you rather have it get to that point, or do you ever see it getting to that point in your professional opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Trying to remove like the subjectivity. I mean, how you're viewing your reality can shift so readily. But maybe that's also something that's important, right? I mean, how you view the world, and how I'm viewing all of this right now is just kind of like a ratio of neurotransmitters in my brain, and that could be altered very quickly if you've ever taken like any type of MDMA or anything like that. Like it's like that whole perception of reality can change really quickly. So yeah, exactly. Hallucinogens, all that kind of stuff. Like our reality is on a knife's edge. So yeah, I think in general, like it would probably be good to have more tests. I think that will probably get better. I don't know the current research on this, but I mean, I would think that there would be some type of tests that they could monitor over time, and then you could kind of see what's going on. But this is not my area of expertise at all. I don't do mammal research, so especially neuro stuff. But at least I know for microbes, we are doing, it's called like in situ. So where they are as they are. So if you could do some type of in situ monitoring of those neurotransmitters or your brain, or figuring that stuff out, like, and then kind of like basically being alerted if something goes wrong, I think that'd be kind of cool.
If you don't mind me asking, what's your expertise in?
Oh, microbiology PhD.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, that was the only thing I was going to bring up. Just want to get your input on it. Not really debate it, but that's it.
Okay, cool, man. Well, it's nice talking to you. I appreciate you joining.
Of course. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Rock. Okay, Rock is next. Just meditate. Meditation. Mindfulness is really good. It is a really good exercise. Hello, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. How are you?
Good.
You're a scientist. You're a doctor. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Well, it's been years that I am dealing with a lot of stuff. A lot of bad thoughts, and every day feels like every day just feels the same. And I'm a college student, by the way.
Okay.
And sometimes I just don't want to, get off my bed. And I've been, I'm sorry, lately I've been thinking a lot about really bad things. But the reason that I haven't been brave enough to do it is because of my loved ones.
Okay, that's good.
I have been seeing therapists,
Good.
trying to like keep myself busy coding and stuff for 15, 16 hours a day. I'm a student in one of these, they call it now Big Ten, Ivy League schools in the US. So I met a lot of people, therapists in our schools, wellness center. But every time opening up to someone feels like a knife in the heart.
Why? When you're talking to the therapist?
Yeah.
Why?
Like opening up about where I'm coming from and the things that I've gone through.
Yeah.
And especially, a lot of times it's just hard to it can express your emotions and like share it by using words. And I just find it very hard to I don't know why I joined your life. I guess I just needed to talk to someone.
Yeah,
But
I'm here for you,
a
man.
lot of time I just find it really hard to talk about my emotions and feelings with people, because when it gets dark, I feel like I have the pressure of the whole world on my shoulders and I'm not myself anymore. And my brain is about to explode and I feel like I am in a river. I've fallen in a river that it takes me wherever and I have no control over it. I think I've tried all possible ways to help myself.
Okay. What have you
And
tried?
one of those ways. So, for instance, I tried to really focus on myself, teaching myself different skills and stuff to make more money. I was used to intern at National Science at NSF, Argonne National Laboratory Department of Energy. Made a lot of good money and stuff because I was focused on myself, and I thought by learning different skills and working in a really good place and making more money might make me feel better. Didn't work. Then I got into relationships and stuff, and that sucked because when you are not it came pour from an empty cup, right? So that didn't work. Then I started seeing therapists and people to kind of help myself. But every time that I talk about myself, I feel like I don't deserve the time that I not about deserving, because I know there's no solution to it. So I've been seeing a lot of therapists, and it just doesn't help. And then I tried meditation and going to the beach or in the shore in Chicago, just to stare in the moon, meditate and stuff. It just doesn't work. I feel like I've got to stop this. It's just no solution. There's no solution, no way out of this, and no way to heal myself.
There is, man. It's okay. It's okay. People, you're not broken or anything. People, I hear you, and I'm sorry that you're going through this, man, for real. So let's try to think of some steps forward that we can take, so tomorrow can be different, So have you tried exercising? I know that is the biggest thing for my mental health, man. If I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling low energy, it's ironically I can actually feel better and more energetic if I work out. Do you do that? What kind of physical exercise do you do?
I'm sorry.
It's okay, man.
I exercise sometimes. I run, I jog, and I bought few weights and stuff at home.
Yeah.
I try to get better, and I used to take medications,
Yeah.
but the medications would make me feel really tired and sleepy. And I've
Yeah.
got like classes and internships and stuff like to take care of them, and I can sleep all day, right? But the medications, I'm so sorry. I even feel bad for
No,
like wasting your time and like
no, you're not
sharing.
wasting my time at all, dude. This is why I'm here. You take all the time you need, bro. It's all good.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I feel like just
You don't
seeking
have to say you're
attention.
sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. This is all good. This is why this is a positive space, man. Everyone's trying to make themselves better, and this is what this whole thing is about. We're here for you.
Thank you. I just people who are in the chat and you yourself, don't worry, it'll be fine. It's just like I always get emotional and stuff, but it'll be fine. So you don't have to like be upset or sad or it'll be fine. So don't worry. Yeah, I work out and stuff, but nothing feels real anymore. And like for now, sometimes I really try to like have fun and stuff. Like I bought PS5, downloaded new games, and I travel to some places, meet friends and family and stuff. But it feels like a movie, and it just doesn't feel real. And it just feels like a simulation, I feel like I'm a character in this game, and it's like whatever I do during the day, I know at the end of the day it will be me in my room at night thinking about everything that I did during the day, and it would feel like a second that I did all of that. Or was it just me thinking and imagining that I did all those things during the day?
How about we just like work on thinking, let's try to just not have any more 0 days. Let's just think about that. You don't have to accomplish everything, or you don't even have to do one thing. You just have to do a step forward, right? You don't have to even complete it. We just need like the little wins. And because I think that the biggest misconception that people have is that like you're born with discipline and motivation and all that kind of stuff. It's a muscle, like just like anything else, like discipline and making keeping on track, and motivation comes and goes. You have to like work at it, and it's not always going to be there, but we can try to push forward one step at a time, like, so I think something tangible and something really easy would be like just working on like a 30-minute walk every day. So just kind of like and how's your sleep going?
I'm a night owl.
Okay,
I
I think that we need to start regulating our sleep a little bit better, man, because staying up super late, I mean, when you're trying to kind of like be more, I think how long do you sleep?
I sleep 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours. Well, not. It's complicated because like I just got done with my summer internship, right? Yeah. So there, I used to like work 15 hours a day because I had to like run simulations and make sure the simulations are running the code and stuff. So I had to like work 15 hours a day even. I had like 4, sometimes 3 hours sleep. But since now I have like 1 week to just like chill and have fun and then move back to St. Charles, another city for my second research. Here at home right now, I don't have anything to do, but still I can't sleep. I just can't stop thinking. Like even when I take a shower, I keep thinking about, I feel like something bad gonna happen, or what if I go outside and this happens or that happens, or what if if like I drive and I hit someone and I go to jail, or what if someone hits me, or what if so a lot of bad thoughts, and I'm like, I just feel like everything is against me, and I feel like even myself, my body is like doesn't want to like stay with me. And
I'm not against you, bro. Not everyone in the chats with you. We're not no, you know, there are people that are with you. So let's think
thank you.
about like easy wins. Like let's think about going on a walk. Let's think about going to bed earlier. Let's think about like drinking water. How much water are you drinking a day?
I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
I drink a lot of water, and I drink a lot of coffee. So
Okay, well there you go, man. So that's the problem, I think. So the coffee is feeding this sleeplessness at night, and that's making you tired, and then that's getting you stay up like later and later in the day, and then it's messing up your sleep schedule. So I think we have to cut back on the coffee, or at least have it before noon, because it's not helping you, man. It's not helping you because you're not sleeping well, and then when you're not sleeping well, you're getting more tired the next day, and then you're having more coffee, and it's good. What are you showing us?
Oh, nothing. It was just about water. I kind of stored a
Oh.
lot of water.
Oh, okay.
And I bought a lot of stuff to like
Gotcha.
work out. Like every part of my house is like
Nice.
full of stuff that I.
Oh, dude, you're good, man. You got so much, dude. I'm thinking you got a lot of space to like stretch. Been stretching lately?
I'm sorry, what?
You do like some nice stretching. I think like just focus on the little wins, man. Like you don't have to, and just once a day. We're talking about like a good 20-minute stretching session, or just kind of like moving around a little bit, going on that walk, and then going on a walk and kind of like just moving enough that you kind of get sweaty, and that will just make you feel so good, because then what will happen? You'll actually sleep better too. So you really like, what I like to do is like really pump my arms and like take long strides. So I'm actually getting like my heart rate up, and then that really helps me like I add that in like at the end of the day. And it also kind of like signals to your brain that it's kind of like the end of the day, and you kind of like can go to bed in an hour, and it's all good.
Thank you. I will definitely try that. I will reduce coffee consumption. I work out. I walk. I jog a lot, and it's just weird because when it rains, I just love to like put my headphones on and go outside and jog,
Nice.
or just when play piano. I play piano at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's just try it workout, but unfortunately, it's like a wind. It hits me sometimes, and I feel very down, and I can't even get out of my bed, and I just like have. But sometimes I'm fine. I just don't understand. It's like a wind sometimes.
When did this start? When did it start? Kind of like this fatigue that you're talking about.
I had a very rough childhood.
Okay.
I lost a lot of my friends.
Sorry, man.
No problem. My school was kind of there are some words that I shouldn't be using in the live, right? In the live, censor it. So something happened to my school, and I lost my best friends.
Oh my gosh, man!
Well,
I'm so sorry. Dude, it's rough, man. You're a lot of people would be exactly where you are, man. The fact that you're still here means that you're strong, that you're resilient.
And then it's just sad. And then I used to I've always been a nerd,
Me too.
So I used to get bullied and beaten for
Yeah, me
years
too.
back in school, and that really was tough. I tried a few times to hurt myself back when I was in high school, and then started college. Things were fine, but my mom got a stroke. She became paralyzed, and every time looking at her, you know, it's like a flower, you know, a drop. It's just like a flower in winter, you know. So,
Well, dude, guess what? You know what? What's kind of crazy? You know what the nerd martial art is? What everyone says? The jujitsu. There is a huge pipeline. I'm not kidding. There is a huge pipeline from video games to jujitsu because it's basically like a real-time strategy game that you're playing on someone else's body. And it is so fun. It is so addicting. And I think that it is a really cool way to kind of like get my like frustration, my out, and also gets me like that strength. You know, my body just feels incredible afterwards, and you have an incredible camaraderie with the people that you have that you build with, and on top of that, the discipline of like having a coach there, having the schedule, having the belts. You know, it kind of like has a discipline roll on effect where now I'm like doing other things that I normally wouldn't be doing because of it. So I think like that would be kind of a cool, maybe like an out of the box kind of thing that you could look at. Or if you DM me, you know, like if you'd feel comfortable, I could look for, you know, gyms or whatever in your area or something, or maybe with the university nearby. Maybe they have like a judo or a jujitsu class. Honestly, a lot of schools, jujitsu is so popular now. A lot of universities have wrestling or jujitsu things that
fantastic.
clubs. So it
Sounds
would.
great. Yeah. For currently for my summer, I had I've been traveling a lot from one city to another city for my different internships and researches for like 2 weeks in one place and 3 weeks in Oregon National Laboratory, this and that. So, but for fall, I will move back to you know, the city where my school is, my university, and I will definitely look. They have a lot of clubs and. You know, like they probably have a club for jiu-jitsu. And I will definitely DM you.
Yeah, dude. I'm here for you, man. Like if you ever just want to chat, like DM me, and like it's all good, dude.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, sometimes we just all we need is to like talk for a minute with someone.
Yeah, man. I'm here for you, bro. For real. For real, dude. This is a positive space, and we're all trying to improve, and we're all trying to get better. And I felt like I was a different person every year between 18 and I'm 38 now. So it's just like every year I'm like a new person, and I'm always trying to improve, and I'm always different, and I'm always figuring something out. And, you know, I think that it's normal to be in a spot where you're like, I can do something different, or this isn't right. And I think that that's actually the first step, genuinely, because the people that don't realize that they're in the wrong direction, that's even harder to realize, because then you got to be like, dude, you got to snap out of it. And I have friends that are like that, man, where they're just wallowing, you know, in alcoholism or something like that, and it's really sad. So
you're right. You know, after what happened to my friends, and I had like, you know, I have a lot of friends. Unfortunately, most of them moved to another, you know, states because of school and college. But I find it really hard to like make new friends because I'm not like being open to make new friends, but just to build like professional, you know, I just do professional networking for my career. Unfortunately, because whenever I want to like make friends, I get scared of like losing them again. It's just because of trauma.
That's
and
normal.
Being sad for a long time, it just makes you forget how happiness feels like. And whenever I go outside, or I'm in school or at work, I just wear this mask with big smile. And I honestly wish and hope that there's going to be a day that I really, you know, laugh and smile like for real, not a fake one, because it's been like
Let's just get those small, like, let's just build up, man. Like, no more 0 days, okay? So I want you to just do like just something tomorrow. Like, what do you think? What are you thinking? Like a walk, no caffeine, going to bed earlier. Like, what do you think?
So tomorrow, my plan was to. So
Let's plan your day.
Let me show you. Oops, I have it. I always carry. I'm such a nerd. I always carry this little notebook.
Okay.
What is for tomorrow?
Okay, let's see. Let's plan your day, bro.
So tomorrow, lab future, math, physics, quantum mechanics. Oops, sorry.
Oh, cool.
Oops.
Nice.
Okay.
Dude, see, you're like organized. You got your stuff written down. Like, this is great, dude. You're like, seriously, you're doing a great job.
So for tomorrow, thank you. For tomorrow,
PyTorch. So you're, dude, you're in the thick of it.
yeah, that I have to do a PyTorch a project to like build my portfolio. You know, to like showcase my machine learning
Nice.
skills.
Yeah,
and I have to like do a portfolio project for my like
Nice.
the data time. That's for tomorrow. So I will wake up early tomorrow.
Okay.
And I may go to Starbucks to like get some coffee.
Okay.
I will get those done maybe by 6 p.m.
But maybe like, so you can ask things like half calf. You know, I used to work at Starbucks, and people would come in, and I'm giving them 2 refills on a venti. Those are like, that's 400 milligrams of caffeine, man, and they're drinking 2 of them, and they would like literally be shaking, like their hands would be like shaking. They would be so bad. I mean, so what do you normally get at Starbucks?
You may laugh. I
That's
always
okay.
get black coffee with no sugar, no cream.
Okay, oh, that's easy, dude. Just get a half calf. Let's just get a half calf. You know, you'll still feel something, but like you're not gonna crash. But then that's how I weaned this guy down. Actually, I did this exact same thing because he was shaking, and came to me. He was like, "Man, I gotta change something up. This is so bad." And you did 3/4 calf, half calf, 1/4 calf, and then he went completely decaf because he slept so much better, that he had so much more energy throughout the day, that he completely switched to decaf.
Wow, I will definitely do that. I am trying
Cool.
like everything I can to get better. I've been really trying for years, and
Nice.
it's been 3 days that I just eat something at night, and I don't eat anything in the morning, and it really worries me sometimes because I've lost appetite, and I just don't want to like eat anything. And just at night, it's like 2:16 a.m. here. Just at night, I get a little angry, but I don't like eating, but the reason I eat, I can't taste it. The reason I want to eat something, just to put in something in my stomach, to not feel hungry. So at night I eat something, and then during the day I don't eat anything. And it worries me, so I force myself to like just eat something, but I can't. So I just drink coffee instead and water.
Okay. Yeah, man. It's a habit forming drink, right? I mean, that's the thing. You kind of like that feeling, and it's just you get a headache otherwise, and you just kind of like not think about it, and over time it's just, oh wow, now I actually need this. So
yeah, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Tomorrow I will wake up early as always. I will go to Starbucks, get some coffee, but not like I will get half caffeinated.
Okay, cool. Nice. That's a win.
Yeah, I'll have a break.
That's a win then, if you do that. And then the next day on Monday, maybe we work on that walk. You don't even like the jogging thing can like make you systemically tired. If you really want to go for a jog, I think that would be fine. But I'd honestly rather you do some walking, and then maybe some body weight squats, some push-ups, get that heart rate going, do some weightlifting a little bit. That's going to actually help a lot more than going for a run. I think right now we need to use that body. We need to use those arms. We need to use those legs, get a good stretch in, a good deep wall squat or something. You can throw in some good body work exercises. I think that would be a lot better for your time than going on a jog.
Yeah, so sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
So
All
I'll
right,
keep
cool,
you
man.
updated. Thank you very much for your
Cool,
time.
man. Yeah, DM me. DM me how it goes. DM me the win for tomorrow, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All
Thank you.
right, sweet, man. Awesome, guys. All right, Eric, I know you've been waiting for a little bit, man, but Tyler's just, he's been waiting too. So I'm going to go Tyler and then Eric. Yo, how's it going, man?
Not much. I didn't wait long, so like if the next guy,
No, you're good.
You
You were
said-
coming in and out, so it's all good.
yeah. What is the topic here?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Oh,
We were talking about mental
I
health
don't know.
before.
I mean, what
You were talking about mental health before.
was I? No, I wasn't. I don't talk about mental health.
Oh, okay.
I was actually talking about
No, I mean,
don't know.
like we like as a stream, like we were all talking, not you.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Mental health is weird, and it's I don't know the word hard because you don't know what anyone's going through. I don't know what anyone's going through. I feel like
Yeah.
my mental's been solid, but
Cool. Nice.
actually, I don't know. But I think I got kicked off last time because I talked about like moon landing.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, cool, man.
Well, I don't know. I mean, my thing with moon landing is, I mean, I'll say I don't know much. I don't know, and it is a little disrespectful, I think some people could argue, because yes, there's a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort into that. But I do think there is evidence that is somewhat sus. I don't know. So I kind of, with conspiracies, I think that is one of the most convincing.
I forget.
I
Like
mean-
it was like a Mars thing. I think that you'd remind me again. Like if you thought we went to Mars.
Mars? I didn't say anything about Mars.
Yeah, that was just. Well, I'm curious. Like, do you think that like we have a rover on Mars?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's a rover, yeah. I mean, yeah. But didn't it like not work or something?
It stopped working after like way longer than they were expecting. It was like it went for like another like 5 years or something.
Yeah, I don't know. My thing is always just like I don't know. I mean, how good was technology in 1969? Like, I mean, seriously, compared to now, like computing power. So
I mean, it's
yeah,
pretty impressive. I know. It's crazy.
And then Van Allen radiation belt, the whole quarter inch of aluminum protecting against that. That's the whole thing, and they did delete a lot of the like stuff behind that. But again, I mean, I'm not super well researched in this subject, so I'll chill out with that a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I know your thing is like microbiology, so I mean, that's
I
more
guess who got you into like moon landing conspiracies?
But one guy kind of called me out. He's like, "You listen to the Joe Rogan podcast," and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, you are kind of right there." So that's
okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was actually a legit, pretty decent podcast, and you have what is his name, like Bart Sibrel, like that guy is really deep into that stuff, and he's dedicated his whole life into it. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty convincing, and you will get convinced.
Does Joe Rogan still think that the moon landing was faked?
I think as of now, he would say if there was a gun to his head, like he would agree that it was faked. So yeah.
Okay.
But that's his whole thing. Like he is pretty humble and very like, I'm an idiot. Like I don't know much, but he does. He talks to people. He talks to a lot of scientists, and he has came out and said like there's a lot of scientists that he's talked to that don't want to talk about it. And I mean that's also very suspicious. And I do think there are a lot of people that are in, like these PhD people. They're all very like, I don't know. They can be cocky and,
They can, right? I mean,
well, yeah, the meme is like an ivory tower. So yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
and no, I mean, I've written science. I mean, it is very tedious and hard, so I do respect it, but also I do get it. Once you get over that hump, I mean, you do, you know, then you don't want other people to get over that hump, that's kind of how the trend. I mean, with gatekeepers, it's like you get your credential and your, whatever, and you struggle, it's hard, but and then as soon as you get over that, you're like, okay, I want people to struggle like I did, so. But that's, I don't know. And then you have this whole generation of people. My grandpa, like he would talk about it. He's like, I worked on the heat shields on the, whatever mission. I mean, that would really, that hurts if you work that hard on something and someone just wants to call you, fake. That never happened. I mean, it's hard.
But it was the radiation belt that was the main thing for you, right? Because I remember asking you, like,
I think that's a good point.
What
Yeah,
evidence
because
would you need to see in order to change your mind, right? And what?
That's a good question. I mean, the Bart Sibrel argument is like the Geiger counter's broke, and we actually don't even know how much radiation is there.
Yeah.
And then allegedly it was like a quarter of an inch of aluminum. I don't know. I mean, I've studied chemistry. I did do a bachelor's in chemistry, but I didn't go any further. I should have, but I didn't. And especially physical chemistry, I really like that. Bio, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of biochemistry, or even anything microbiology. I just felt like microbiology was like memorizing, like, oh, gram positive, gram negative. It's just like, oh. But I did like physical.
Is there another way that we could verify that we went to the moon that doesn't revolve around that Van Halen belt?
Fuel. How much fuel does it take to actually get to the moon? Like, I haven't done those calculations either, but like distance to Earth to moon. Apparently, like, there's another argument that's like it would take multiple trips. Like, it would take multiple fuel. Like, the fuel doesn't math, And I think that's actually a pretty simple calculation, really. I mean, if you just look at but like as you get further away from the gravity, right, it takes less fuel. So it's like kind of like probably a linear relationship there, like, right? I mean, maybe exponential.
Yeah, there's like a cliff that you have to crawl out of, which is the space-time, the vacuum, but kind of like sucking you in, and you gotta get out of that.
Right. Well, yeah, because the force of gravity, right? Because gravity, if you drop a ball, right, it's accelerating. So I would say it's actually more of like that's not linear. That's more like exponential, right? So like as like you have to propel, and it just exponentially down, right? Like it takes less fuel as you get further away. But then once you get into moon's gravity, then you're pulled towards the moon, right? So then no fuel, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Earth's that's the analogy, right? Like if you have like a mesh, Earth's heavier, so it takes more fuel to get past Earth, and then once you get to the moon, it's like a smaller, like to get past that mesh, then the moon's pulling you at a certain point, right? So you'd have to do distance from Earth to moon first, which is, yeah. And then you have to think,
why do you think?
There's actually a lot of good evidence for the moon landing conspiracy. Like, seriously. I mean, flat Earth. I mean, that's the stupidest thing in the world. I mean, what's the conspiracy? Like, who benefits from knowing that the Earth is actually flat? Like, what's the conspiracy there? The conspiracy behind the moon landing was, like, all this money being spent, like, we'll just fake it because it costs way too much money. The Americans are way too deep into this, like, yeah, I mean, have you heard a good argument for flat Earth? I mean, flat Earth
No,
is just
I mean it's like the problem with flat Earth is it basically is a brain melting like conspiracy where you basically, in order to agree with it, you have to agree that the entire scientific field is kind of like all working and coordinated together, and it's just there's just no
right, and like
possible
who
way, man.
benefits from gatekeeping that? Like it's just silly. But I mean, yeah,
Why haven't there been like a deathbed conversion or something of one of these like physicists that knows about the Van Halen the belts
they're
and all that kind of
scared. They don't
stuff?
want to get killed by the CIA.
I mean, I
I
was like
mean,
last night someone said I was like working for the CIA too, man. It's like, I mean, it's so easy to like write that off. Don't you think? It's kind of sad.
yeah, I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, no one. I don't know. I need to actually sit down and do this math. I mean, I do actually have time now, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Wonder what ChatGPT would say.
ChatGPT would definitely be. Well, last time I checked, it would agree that we landed on the moon. Same with Grok. I actually like Grok a lot more because Grok is like GPT did just get upgraded, right? So it might.
Oh,
but
is this
that's
5
the
out?
thing. You ask it directly. Yeah, no, it is. As of like today or yesterday.
Oh, sick.
I mean, if you're in my time, yesterday, but yeah.
Okay, cool, nice.
I'm in Oklahoma, so. But no, I mean, I haven't really played around with the new GPT, but I do like Grok a lot. I think if you ask it, like, did we land on the moon? It would say, yes, we did. But if you break it down and that's what you have to do with these things. You have to break down, like, fuel wise. But even then, it's like, do we even trust this? Who do we trust?
What is the? Oh, Rock, thanks, man. Oh, that's really nice of you.
What did he do? Send us something?
Okay. Oh, you subscribed. Thanks, dude. He added 10 minutes to your thing, but I think I'm just gonna do it in 30 seconds, dudes. No offense, but yeah, it is. Thanks, Rock. I appreciate you, man. We're gonna get through it together. Yeah, dude. I just the problem with the moon landing thing is like, I don't see the benefit of it. I don't see how people are making. What the point of it is it's like a political thing and all these people would be in on it, and it's so tired. Like there's just so much evidence to the contrary, like that's the thing.
Like what though? I mean, the only thing is like, what, the Chinese tracked it. Okay, that's one, and then another one is like, oh, we actually have moon rocks. It's like, okay, that's like the only actually.
But
two
isn't that the
things.
moon rock like a really
I
good
actually
thing?
went to the what is it, the Florida Kennedy Center.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't really feel like they talked a whole lot about it.
I would love for you to do research on the moon rock, like the stuff, like, and tell me about it. I honestly don't know what tests and stuff they've done on it, and let's explore that in the future. Okay, next time that you're on.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
You remember me?
I do. I'll remember you. Okay, Eric. Sorry, just since he hasn't been on, bro, I'm gonna like the space. We'll give this guy a chance. Hello.
How you doing, Dr. Greg?
How can I? What can I dash? This
Yeah, you can call me Braden. Brad.
Braden. Okay, cool. What's up, man?
Yeah. I just had a question. Do you know much about like peptides or like testosterone stuff like that?
Okay. I have a friend. Maybe. Yeah. What's up?
Okay. Yeah, I've just been looking around. Like I'm kind of in the community a little bit. I'll be probably running my first testosterone cycle after blood work comes back in a couple weeks.
Okay.
But retatrutide is my question today.
Yeah.
It's a newly developed peptide. Developed by Eli Lilly, clinical trial by Eli Lilly. A bit of info on it with regard of losing body fat especially in higher doses up to 12 milligrams. And I was just wondering if you knew much about peptides in general or weight cutting, stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, TERS is, I mean, it's basically TERS. So there's
Right, right.
GLP-1 agonists, which basically mess with the ghrelin response, and then tirzepatide is a dual action agonist, and then retaglutide is a triple action. So it actually increases the glucagon immuno the insulin pathway and the glucagon too at the same time. So it's for sure really good. That with like a test would be like a really good thing. Just I mean, do you have like low testosterone symptoms right now?
According to my doctor.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say like particularly.
How old are you?
I was definitely 20.
Oh, dude, you're way too young, bro. Don't do this to yourself.
Oh no.
I'm serious though. For real.
You don't think so?
It's not worth it. It really isn't, man. Like, so
Yeah.
Your levels are going to be so high that there's no reason to like wait until you're like late 30s and you actually could use TRT. Otherwise, you're gonna it's pro. Trust me, man. It's gonna be. It's not. You can
Yeah,
do
I
it
would say the
safely.
only
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only low T symptoms I had were mostly probably dedicated to the SSRI I was on. It was Paxil, and it's just known for having terrible side effects. And I just recently switched to Lexapro, very low.
Okay.
And by the time I'm out of college, I'm hoping to be off fully of SSRIs. But yeah, just while I'm young, I've wanted to do T for a while, but didn't want to do it when I was in my teens. And kind of got to a point now. I'm like, I kind of want to do it.
But
I got really fat and out of shape on SSRIs, and I hate that a lot.
Dude, the Retta is gonna help you so much. Like, and you're gonna lose from the Retta. You're gonna lose your abdominal fat, and it's gonna increase your testosterone anyway. I mean, are you weightlifting right now?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not like skipping legs or anything, right?
I'm skipping it more than I should for sure.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a big one, dude. That's like a big muscle group that you want to like, be working out. Yeah, dude, Romanian deadlifts with the and regular deadlifts and squats. Those are all really important to like. You want to get those hips opened up. Their psoas kind of like building that building strong. It's huge, man. It's you especially on Retta or any of these GLP-1 agonists. If you don't weight lift, what happens is you get you just waste away. Your muscle is your checking account for your body. So if you don't do it, your muscles are just gonna go away. You want to weight lift and you need to body build so that your body saves the muscles and then has to go to the harder thing to use, which is the adipose tissue. So in order to do that, you have to work out. It's honestly should be prescribed to people that are going on GLP-1 agonists. Like you have to go with weightlifting, and it's specifically weightlifting because you need progressive overload. So you have to do it. Otherwise, it's the problem is that the reason why, and you read these papers, and what happens is they bounce and then they go right back up, and it's because they've lost all their muscle mass and their adipose tissue. So what happens is when they try to maintain, well, they've lost all that muscle mass, and the muscle mass costs metabolically a lot more than fat tissue. So now their metabolism shot too. So for their maintenance calories is actually a lot less than where they should be. So it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, I'm going to be bulking now accidentally, and boom, now I'm like, it's not good. So yeah, just make sure that Retta has like organ benefits, organ protective benefits. It's really good. It's really good stuff.
You're not big on cardio then, just mainly stick and deadlifting.
Cardio, the problem with cardio is that you get systemic fatigue from it. So I'll do like 30 to 40 minutes of like a dog walk a night, and if I'm cutting, I'll put the sauna suit on or something like that. But Normally you need to do minimum full body 2 days a week on weights. That's minimum. So 2 hours a week is all you need to do to get like 60% of the benefits. If you're really hitting it hard, the third day gets you about 75% efficiency. And then that final like 25, that's like the bodybuilders, like 5 days a week, splits, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's mainly what I do. I do the 5-day 1 hours. I usually take like 2 days rest, 3 days rest.
That's too. You might be burning yourself out though, because that's the thing, dude. You gotta
really.
Yeah, you only need like 2 or 3 days. 3 days full body. Don't do the bro split. Just 3 days full
No
body.
bro split?
Yeah.
What?
I
Really?
know. Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't split up like chest and back and
You don't
legs.
need
You would
to.
just hit them all.
Yeah, you don't
a
need
little
to.
bit at once.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying.
Just
Might give
every
that a
other
try
day.
for
And
sure.
then don't do cardio, man, because you're just going to add systemic fatigue. But walking is really good. So walking is a really good way to add in like that extra calories to just melt it off. And then
I do jujitsu as well, which is like
nice.
heavy cardio.
Nice, dude.
Do you do jujitsu?
Yeah,
I think I saw somebody else talking about it. Oh no way! What belt?
Yeah, dude. I'm training for Worlds right now. It's in Vegas.
No way!
Yeah, dude.
No way! What's your belt?
I'm a white belt. I've been doing it like a year and a half.
Yeah, same.
Nice,
same, man. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. That's great. 2-stripe white belt, but that's
Hell
great.
Yeah. Good. Nice, dude.
But that's definitely a lot of cardio in that. And usually when I'm like in my weightlifting split, so I really only train when I'm at college because that's where my gym is.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I just substitute that as a day of lifting because I mean that gets everything. You know what I mean? Your wrist, your back, your shoulders, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Legs.
Yeah.
So would you? How would you split that up though? Because it's pretty intensive. So would you do like if I'm doing jujitsu maybe 2-3 times a week? Would you still be lifting as much?
For sure. You just lift on the days that you're not rolling.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. Do you think like retatrutide is going to have any issues? Like when I'm wanting to train, because that's my only like concern. Would that be like if I'm training, is it going to make me feel zapped or stuff like that?
It's your first day, you might have like the most side effects, but like after that, you should be fine. If you have any side effects at all, you should just not be going up like dosages. You just maintain. Right. That's the problem with a lot of these is that people just keep going up and up. And if you can, like, they'll be losing weight and they'll still be going up, and that's not what you want. You want to, like, as soon as you've plateaued for a really long time, then you go up one dosage.
Yeah. I'm not planning on doing especially because of the cost of Retta. I'm probably just going to stick with a pretty low dose.
Yeah.
Some of the lower ones they've done, because I don't really need to go like 12 milligrams or something
dude,
wild.
4. It's like 4.
Yeah,
it's
4.
Like the maintenance.
4.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been thinking.
Adding so much is like you need to take like a cycle off of it. Like if you get that high, I feel like unless
I'm just thinking having like 4 milligrams, just a little kicker. And then just going about my routine, get a better diet, etc.
Dude, there's a huge argument to be made for people to just kind of like maintenance dose this stuff because of the organ benefits, the organ protection benefits. It just stops you from like endlessly snacking, thoughtlessly snacking, giving those calories. It's a good time. And just, dude, make sure you're getting your weight and protein. That's the biggest thing for my like nutrition. Literally all I do is 200 grams of protein a day, and that's it. So like carbs just come naturally. I make sure to get as much fiber as I can. And then, with veg, right? Like actual like vegetables. And then I don't even worry about fats, but you have to get that protein in. You have to.
Yeah, I'm a big protein guy. I mean, most of my diet when I go on diets is really just meat and fruit. I try to keep it as simple as possible. It helps a lot. I usually eat ground beef, chicken, and any fruits I find.
You got to be careful. You got to figure out how much you're eating. You're probably not eating enough protein then, because you have to get like, I mean, I have to drink 2 protein shakes and a protein bar in order to get 100 grams of protein from that, and then I'm taking like a nice, a nice steak or something if I'm going to have that, because the research is showing that you can only eat about 30 to 40 grams of protein in a meal. If you eat like
to digest.
Yeah, exactly. You just poop it all out if you don't do that. And that's the kind of the problem with the fasting thing is that you're eating in your window, you're eating so much protein altogether that you're not even assimilating it. So if you have 200 grams of protein, you can eat 40 grams at a time. That's 5 times that you have to eat that, right? So I'll do that 5. I'll do two shakes and a protein bar, and that gets me there. And then my other 2 will be, whatever. So that's usually lunch and dinner. And then so before I roll, I'll drink a Fairlife. And then,
Oh, so gas. Chocolate Fairlife's the best protein shakes
yeah,
for
dude,
sure.
exactly. Treat yourself, and then afterwards I'll have like another one with some creatine in it. And then creatine's really good, has a really good mental health benefits too. So
Do you think I should get back on creatine? My issue was I wasn't drinking enough water, and I just didn't want to take creatine while not like being good with water.
yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, go for it. Yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Is
Why not?
water like crucial though? Like I really gotta like watch my I really gotta chug.
No, I don't think so, man. Yeah, you just drink water. You're gonna be you want micronized creatine so you don't have the osmotic gut problems. So then you don't have like diarrhea, but you just everyone's recommending like 10 grams now. That's kind of like what I do, I guess. But
Jeez, that's high.
I know,
Back when
yeah,
I was researching it, it was like
5
4 or
grams.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, my last question though is Retta, would that be would you advise like constant like ever like cycling it or just like keeping it constant? Like is there a
I
reason to
mean,
like hop off of it for a bit?
you basically started at the 1 and then go to 2 and then go to 4. I would probably like I would probably if I'm still gaining weight at 4, I would try to like cut without it a little bit. It gets expensive, man. Unless you like are
It
like I
does.
have to weigh a certain amount, then it makes sense. But I would just for cost. I mean, I would just go cycle off of it if I was really. That's what I would do with TERS or something. If I was on a weight cut or something like that, I would just like go up to 5 milligrams and then wait a couple of months and then go back on it. So
Yeah. But I appreciate it a lot.
yeah, man. No,
I'm
no
sorry
problem.
for going for the dark side. Hopefully it won't destroy my hormone
I
system.
don't. But have you already gotten it?
Yeah, I can do my I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't started it, but I have paid for the blood work and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I have yet to meet with a specialist and stuff.
Okay. So you're gonna go to a clinic?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the problem with the clinics, bro, is that they're just so the big problem is that one, it's gonna your fertility. That's the biggest problem. So you have to like freeze some sperm.
I was gonna make a joke, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, so what they do is that you have to do test with HCG. So HCG increases your testicular like working, so that it actually happens. But that's not like how people. You don't want to cycle on and off. That's the kind of the problem is that you kind of just want to do a low dose TRT, so nobody does like 500 and then 0 and then HCG and then
Right.
500
That's
0.
really yeah.
Nobody like wants to do that. Okay,
Yeah. I don't have personally I don't have an issue with like pinning the rest of my life.
that's fine, but
Like to be quite
the
honest.
fertility,
But just
bro. You
being
don't want
low.
to. You could not have kids if you know what I mean. That doesn't make any sense. It's not worth it. It's not
Yeah.
worth it to not have kids. Okay, Barrett, 1 second.
But the gains, bro.
It's not. There's going to be no gains, dude. You're going to mess with you're going to mess with your hormones, and they're going to crash your E2, and you're going to feel like shit. And you're going to retain a bunch of water, and it's going to be awful. What's up, Barrett? How's it going, man?
What up, man? I was up earlier to clarify.
Okay.
It says Dr. Greg, microbiology.
Yeah.
I want to know, what do you do specifically for a living?
Yeah, so I'm a scientist for a biotechnology company. So we basically create yeast strains that can make pharmaceutical drugs for other companies. So there's like, a peptide or something that they want to make, and they need a yeast that can make that at the highest amounts that it can make. And I basically change the genomes in the yeast in order to facilitate that.
Dang. So this guy was going around lives asking people where you could get peptides, and you're actually like the peptide master. Like,
Yeah, I don't hop on lives often, but I was like, man, I got a question. This guy'd be perfect to ask. We got a microbiologist over here.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, dude. Honestly, though, I'm not kidding. I would not do it. I would not do it. Trust me. Just
so you're like no trend, nothing till I'm old.
Okay, trend's just terrible. The only thing I'd ever consider taking would be tests, and I should really only do that at like 30 or 40. But I'm really dumb. I want to do it at 20.
This is you're thinking about it in old school ways, bro. People do small amounts of a lot of different ones. So we're talking about like Primo, Anavar tests, all in really small amounts, and it all is healthy. But you can't, like, nobody's doing 500, 800 tests, cycles anymore, because it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
The max I would do, just a disclaimer, max I would do would be 200.
Okay, I mean
200 tests.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. That's the high dosage of the TRT. So it's gonna it might impair your HCG, like it might not. It'll kill your endogenous production, but you might get it back with HCG. Some people put HCG on top of TRT dosages like that. So that's what they're gonna do.
All right, one question I got before I head out.
Yeah.
Is I'm 18, dude. I got hairline receding. All right, it's happening. What am I gonna do?
Dude, there's so many like hair transplant drugs now. It's like
I don't want to you know what I mean? I don't want to go to like Indonesia for
finasteride, minoxidil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are the drugs.
And that literally is gonna like make hair follicles like come back, or like what?
Yep.
That's not my forte, but I'm pretty sure that like it's been like pretty much figured out now. It's pretty crazy.
Damn, I see like rollers and oils, and it feels like it's all fake, to be honest.
No, the actual like drugs that people have are actually really good for it. And you do not want to be going on any testosterone, my friend, because then you have the DHT conversion that's going to kill your hair. So, or you just go bald and you just slam gear.
Honestly, like,
God damn it,
I'll be cool going bald once I'm in my 30s, but until then,
am I gonna lose this beautiful hair?
Oh my god, there you go. Well, you might.
I'm gonna lose it.
I mean, you might, but I don't.
Oh well.
You do not want to be on a DHT blocker, dude. An AI is not a good. You don't want to be an AI baseline. You're doing way too much if you're on an AI baseline.
Yeah, that's. I might be wrong here, but what are AIs used again for?
So there's a lot of So testosterone has a lot of pathways that it can go through, and one of those.
That's the one to prevent it from converting to estrogen, correct?
Yeah, aromatization inhibitors. So you don't want to go down that pathway, because then the E2 and you want the testosterone to bind specifically to the cell that is for a muscle cell, so that you tell that cell, hey, make more muscle. And you don't want it doing all the different pathways, because it's a huge regulatory, obviously it's a huge part of your hormone regulation. So that's actually what the synthetic derivatives of testosterone were developed for, because if you think about like a muscle wasting patient, like someone that has AIDS, right? Their muscle is wasting away, but they don't want to have their testosterone binding to a cancer drug or something like that, and then that's going to make more cancer, right? So basically these testosterone derivatives like primobolan were developed so that they were specifically only binding to the muscle cells. So it's a huge benefit. They're like 400 times stronger than testosterone. So it's
are those prescribed, or those, like, what are those? Like, where would I get
those?
Would that be?
Primobolan is actually the only one that is FDA approved. So that is actually the one that people will use safely at small dosages. And you want to use stuff that is FDA approved, bro. Like, Tren is not FDA approved.
I would not venture in that area.
EQ, DECA, MPP. These are all ones that people are. It's not safe. They have neurotoxic effects. They have people don't use them for long periods of time.
Yo, let me throw one more at you.
Yeah.
So, I'm an EMT. I'm currently in Fire Academy, and when I was going through the EMT Academy, we're doing all our skills. I'm doing my blood pressure pretty much every day. All right, and I'm 18, and I'm sitting around 160, 165 systolic, every single day.
Dude, bro, what?
So I'm like, do I need to get on some beta ones or at 18? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, bro! I have, dude. You might. What's your diastolic?
I sit around 90.
Oh, that's so high, dude. 160
but
over 90.
I think it's because I did a lot of cardio. I'm a boxer. I did MMA, and I pretty much did jump rope for an hour a day for 5 years.
160 over 90.
Didn't that help your blood pressure though?
And you're not. You said you're not on gear.
I'm not on anything.
Okay, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god.
No. Yeah, 160 over 90 is about my average.
I mean, baseline. Basically, everyone runs Cialis for this stuff. By the way, so you just kind of have. There's a lot of benefits for it, but then bring your blood pressure down a little bit. But 90 is so high, bro. That is.
That's what I'm saying, but also it's because I'm 18. You know what I'm saying? And it's
dude, you should
beta 1
talk
blockers.
to your PCP about this.
I did an accelerated course, which is only about a month. So I haven't had a chance to get into my primary care physician yet.
Dude, I would go to see your physician for sure, because that's so high, man. You might actually I don't know. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary, dude. I'll tell you, that's
No,
scary.
I'm saying because I don't want to be able to stroke out at 30 something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, at least if you stroke it at work, you're kind of fine though.
No, man.
Well, the other thing is I was worried about it, and then I went on a couple calls, and there was one guy who's his blood pressure was at 255 over 155, and he was sweaty, but I'm damn,
What?
he's alive. You know what
How
I'm
is that
saying?
impossible?
I swear, he was
255 over
he was sweating, he was confused, he didn't have a heart attack, but it was that high.
That's wild. That's what I dealt with when I was 260 pounds. Drinking alcohol is my food of choice.
But no, it was 255 over 150.
Oh my god.
He was 400 pounds. And I was oh well, I'll probably be all right.
That's so dangerous. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, you guys don't. No gear for you. Dash.
Yeah.
And Barrett, you need to go see your PCP. There's no reason, bro. No reason. The 157s and stuff, those are interesting peptides that people are trying if you want faster recovery. That I would go there. That is if you actually want to have some fun with it, biohack and all that kind of stuff, you just want to you want to go that direction. Don't mess with your baseline testosterone right now, dude. It's just you're gonna throw everything out of whack, and it's just the return on investment. It's not going to be worth it. You're not going to see the benefits.
Yeah. All right. So
no muscle mass,
dude. You can. What are you talking about? Have you been lifting every day?
What I'm saying, you can just eat your grits and lift, and you'll be good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but
there's nothing.
I mean, you get the natural. I have a good amount of muscle mass, but I mean, I'm thinking, you know what I mean, with extra testosterone, it can help improve it faster, bigger. You know what I mean? Or am I wrong?
I mean, Nico, basically anyone that's 40 or and above, man, that's on any type of combat sport or doing any type of athleticism after 40 is on some type of enhancement. So,
okay, but also, how old you say you are?
I'm sure you know that.
I'm in MMA. All right, I have a purple belt.
I'm stocky.
You don't need that, bro.
Yeah.
Purple belt.
Yeah, I've been doing it a couple of years. I have a black belt in Taekwondo. All right,
okay. Nice, dude.
I've been in combat a while.
Nice.
If you're under 25, you don't need any of that, dude.
Yeah, you really don't. People say
what
that.
What about the cops
and
my sheriffs in my class?
Yeah, there's cops in mine too. It's cool. they had a SWAT call in
They're
the
funny,
middle
you
of
guys.
our warm ups, and I had to go. It was pretty funny. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. Stay safe. Don't, dude, don't like I got two other people, so please.
All right, be safe, man.
Yeah, be safe.
Have a good
guys,
one.
for real.
Thank you, Dr. Greg. I appreciate it.
Don't be weird with it. All right, see you guys. Okay, Eric's back up. What's up, Eric? How's it going, bro?
Oh, pretty good. Still here, I guess.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no, I can tell that you get a lot of topics, man.
I guess, yeah, I'm everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, we jumped from what was it? The moon landing to what was the other thing? I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. Both of those guys did jiu-jitsu. That's cool.
I used to do judo actually.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Back when I was in
judo's
college.
rough, man. You're just falling 4 or 5 feet from the sky constantly.
Yeah, no. I liked it though. It was actually the gi helps a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess should we continue where we were at, or where do you want to?
Okay. Yeah. For sure. I just gonna do a timer just for because Barry's there too. So
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so I want to try to add primary. I'm a big primary literature guy. So it was the California Homeless Report 2024. There it is.
I mean, one of my main arguments is that the real estate market in California, or any city in particular, is going to be expensive because of the people that want to live there, right? The demand, right? So I feel like you need to address the I guess redirect some demand away from the cities, right?
Did you the best, honestly, one of the most interesting analyses on this was from Ezra Klein's book Abundance. Did you read that by chance?
No, I didn't, but I have heard some of his interviews, and I think it definitely aligns with this for sure.
Yes, the cost of living. It's basically the cost of homes, and it's the only correlative variable that is amongst everything.
I mean, it will always come down to supply and demand, and I think urbanization is a huge factor in terms of the concentration of people living in certain areas. Whereas, think of how huge the U.S. is in general, and like I've heard this one lady told me her sister lives in a small town in Kansas, and her sister pays $400 a month in rent for a 3-bedroom house or something like that. So I feel like when you're trying to tackle an issue like homelessness, it kind of has to fall on like being aware of just inflation is just like it's just an indicator of of too much demand in a certain area, I guess. Where were you going at with Ezra Klein's abundance with this? Like, what were you trying to get into?
It's just the cost of the housing market, basically because it's just because basically boomers are in these super low rates because of these low zero rate COVID rates. They got HELOCs for 2.5%. So why would they ever move out of their single family home? And on top of that, like because of Prop 13 in California, I mean, so my parents, for example, when they bought their house, it was $150,000 in 1989 or something, and now it's like 1.2 million, and they're paying property taxes on the 150. So why would they leave? Why would they leave? Even if they were like going to downsize and they don't have equity in their home, it's not actually 1.2 million, right? Because they're actually like draining their equity constantly by getting HELOC after HELOC after HELOC. Imagine them going to somewhere else that's an apartment, and they're buying an apartment for what, 400,000. So now they've tripled their property taxes.
Yeah,
it's
no, that
just
makes
it doesn't make any sense. So that's basically we're having a housing shortage. That's what the problem is that because of strict environmental laws and stuff, there's the zoning is the way it is, and basically we're not building more houses, and the single family homes aren't being relinquished because of the boomers. So it's just that causes
I mean,
homelessness.
there is a tax model in Europe in which this has to do with residential property. If you own your first home, you pay like because obviously we're talking about residents, right? Like living in a home, and I guess when it comes to hoarding, Europe has this tax plan where the first home is taxed as minimally as possible. I don't know exactly the rate, but second and third and every subsequent home after that gets taxed a little higher. And I feel like obviously not everyone is in a position of like hoarding houses like that, but
yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
It's insane.
But I think also every state has different regulations, right? And I live in LA where the demand to live here is super high. I just think that you have to look at the economic situations in the rural parts of the country that push people to want to live in the cities, if that makes sense.
But I mean, you realize that like the Republican governors like bus their homeless people to LA though.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like they literally like put them on buses for the free ticket and to get them to LA. So it's like I feel like people kind of they're not taking that into account.
I feel like one of the things or one of the visions that that a UBI would, and maybe this is a little bit too like far-fetched maybe, but like considering that we're entering an economy with more and more automation and jobs will be not scarce, but definitely like certain industries will get hit harder. I think a UBI is a good like economic stimulus for those rural parts of the country where it can help the formation and sustainability of small businesses and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, you have to have economic development in a lot of these Republican states. It's crucial. They don't have anything doing it otherwise because they don't invest as Republicans into it. I mean, even the Inflation Reduction Act and the infrastructure bill, like 70% of that $1 trillion was being spent in Republican states.
Right. I feel like sometimes I have to like defend universal basic income as not being socialist because on the contrary, like you said earlier, it's money that ends up circulating in your economy, right? And so like if like let's say a trucker loses his job from automation and he lives in a small town in Kansas or whatever, like he gets up the next morning, he's like, what am I going to do now? I feel like the future of jobs, especially in that environment, is going to have to lean towards, again, entrepreneurship and small businesses, right? It's like you need that economic stimulus of a UBI to help those people like form their small businesses. And also, if everyone in that community has an extra $1,000 lying around, then that money can flow back into those local businesses, I think, and then you just have to take into account that the cost of living there is cheaper, and there should be ways to like address like all of these, like, I don't know.
I think the big problem though is people that are losing their jobs to AI, like it will be a permanent thing.
Yes.
This is something that people don't realize. Like you're not going to be able to outlearn a robot or an AI model. So it's like you lose your job and it's like you're pretty much permanently unemployed. It's going to be awful.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in the Rust Belt with all the car manufacturing companies and all that, and a lot of the automation that has already taken into effect. But I think that one of the main reasons why we have this populist president right now is because he touched on those economic needs of the red states, but I still think it's not enough. And again, the vision of a universal basic income is to like address how automation and globalization and all of these economic like revolutions we had so far have killed and decimated the small business or the small rural towns and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's almost
It's
like,
tough.
well, yeah, and I think that as an like having this alternative idea, like I have to like sort of struggle convincing like not just the Republicans but also like Democrats to be like, hey, you guys, this isn't just like this crazy like nonsensical or radical idea. This is actually like the most sensible way that you can start addressing these changes in society, you know?
We have to, and we have to, man. It's like, I mean, just the service sector alone, the amount of people that are going to be out of work is like staggering. It's at least like 50 million people, probably on the orders of up to like 70 or 80. And people are like, oh, this is going to be like 20 years out of the, no, it's like 5 years. It's like right there. So like at least I think it's like the most important problem that we have facing it in our society, and it absolutely blows my mind that we're not actually doing anything to stop it at all. It's just crazy.
I think the future of jobs, like for example, like the jobs that you can start like pushing for are like really like small entrepreneurial like ideas or endeavors that people can like start. You know, like one idea I have is like, you know, there's a lot of TikTok videos that you'll find like people in like China or like Cambodia or something, like they'll like create all of like they'll show you how to do certain things and creatively or something like that. Or like if you're a individual that wants to be like a dog trainer or like some sort of service in your community that won't compete against AI and these industries that are taking over jobs, if that makes sense. So it's like you can bring back the world of like, you know, like the seamstress, the tailor, or like, you know, all of it's like when we think about jobs, we think big because we live in the cities and where we have like a bit more sophistication in our like industries that we have in the cities.
Yeah.
But we have to think maybe like a little bit smaller in these rural economies in a sense, just because the cost of living there is cheaper than the cities.
There was a report that Microsoft put out about like the jobs that are going to be the most and least impacted by AI. Trying to find it. Here it is. I'm going to put it in my show notes. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So like worst era. One second. So boom. Safest. So the safest AI jobs. Safest jobs from AI. And then let me find this. Sorry. I see you in the queue, other person. I'm sorry. Barry, give me 1 second.
Yes.
And the easiest to replace. Okay, so we can read through just so people get. So what jobs are we actually talking about here that can actually be replaced, and how quickly can they be? So sorry, Barry. Just give me 1 second. Let me just read some of these, and then I'm with you. Okay. So safest jobs from AI: phlebotomists, nursing assistants, hazardous material removal workers, helpers, painters, plasters, embalmers, plant and system operators, oral and maxillofacial surgeons, automotive glass installers, repairers, ship engineers, tire repairers, medical equipment preparers, massage therapists, surgical assistants, roofers. So, and then the jobs that are most impacted, the ones that are easiest to replace, are interpreters and translators, historians, passenger attendants, sales reps, writers and authors, CNC tool programmers, telephone operators, brokerage clerks, telemarketers, concierge, political scientists, news analysts, mathematicians, technical writers, proofreaders and copy makers, markers, hosts and hostesses, editors, business teachers. So that's why people say that there's going to be like like a white collar like killing.
Right.
I mean, like data scientists, geographers. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I put it in my show notes for I have on my threads is where I put all my show notes if anyone ever is curious. But I'm going to get this other person in. They've been waiting for a really long time, man.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
thanks for coming in again. I like the way you think, man. I love talking to you. So come on anytime.
For sure, man. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're around.
Barry, how's it going?
Good. How are you tonight, Dr. Greg?
Good. What's up?
So my question is, my vitamin D levels have been low recently, and
Okay.
also my cortisol levels been really low. What could cause that?
Oh, your cortisol. So I'm a microbiologist, not an MD. So this is not a medical advice. But your vitamin D. Have you been wearing sunscreen or not? Like going outside?
I have been going outside recently, and I've been starting to take vitamin D medication like doctor prescribed, and it's still low.
How much are you taking?
I believe it's like 5,000.
Okay, so that's a good amount. That's a good question, man. I don't know. And your cortisol levels, usually your cortisol level spikes because it's like you're a little bit stressed.
But mine are like very low.
Oh, interesting. I don't know, man. How old are you?
32.
Okay. That's a good question, man. I would maybe ask your physician. Yeah, get like a blood work done. I would probably have you done blood work?
Yes.
Okay. Was anything out of whack?
No, everything's normal besides those numbers were low.
Okay. Well, I mean, cortisol can be kind of like a temporal thing or like really not a permanent thing. You know, it could be like, I from what I heard, but and the vitamin D thing is not
And I
as
am.
not important. I think. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I don't think it's like a hypercritical thing. So I would maybe try like taking another vitamin D pill like at the night or something, and during the day.
Okay. I also am type 2 diabetic, and my other question was for you is the GPL ones.
Yeah.
I'm currently on Ozempic,
Yeah.
and I noticed I can really tell that it really slows your digestion system down in the
Yeah.
daytime, where it gives you that fatigue during the daytime.
Yeah, for sure. But you said they're out of it, Ozempic. They're out of it, Ozempic.
Know that I've been taking it.
Oh, okay, good, nice. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's incredible. It really just makes you not think about eating. So it kind of is a freeing feeling.
It is kind of like that. Before I started it, I was over 320 pounds, and now I'm down to 276.
Wow, dude! Congratulations, good job.
And I've been seeing a lot of those like lawsuit things about the medication. What are your thoughts on that? Are they good still, or is it a bad drug?
Ozempic?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I think it's incredible. I mean, it's like the single biggest thing to improve quality of life for like probably 55-60% of Americans.
I know. I was fighting it. It's been a while to be able to get it back in stock for a while because of all the doctors switching it over for the weight loss stuff, but then they forgot about all the diabetics.
Yeah. As soon as it got approved for weight loss, the diabetes. Yeah, because it increases insulin sensitivity, so that makes sense. I think it's great stuff, man. I definitely think that it's it's the future.
With my diabetes, I'm actually have pretty bad progressing peripheral neuropathy I'm dealing with too, and it's
man,
not fun.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, actually, I'm coming up here. I'm going to be getting a nerve stimulator put in for that.
Okay. Nice, man. Well,
So
dude, it
you're
sounds like you're killing it with your weight loss. I think you're doing a good job.
you're more of a doctor in the lab type doctor,
Yeah.
scientist.
Yeah, I'm a scientist.
You're just you must be a really smart guy then. I
Thanks,
didn't know
man.
that.
I mean, I just pick it up. I like I like learning. So that's the big thing. I just if I don't, and I try to be honest with people about things I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing because nobody's an expert in anything, on everything, right?
Right. So I live in Wisconsin, and I have an uncle that works at the EW Madison at that one laboratory that they have, the warfarin.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of it? At the EW of Madison, it's the warfarin building.
Okay.
I know they do a lot of research there.
Oh, nice. I don't know. Um, yeah, that's.
So where did you go to university?
I went to University of California, San Diego for my undergrad, and then I went to UC Riverside for my PhD.
Okay. Okay. Well, keep up the good work, Dr. Greg, and
Oh, cool.
thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
trying to answer my questions.
Sweet. Thanks, man. Well, have a good night. Okay, keep it up, dude. You're killing it. Just make sure you're weightlifting and eating your protein. Okay, that's going to be huge for you as you keep losing this weight.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Greg.
Nice, man. All
Take
right.
care. Bye.
Spencer, I'm so sorry, dude. I am like crashing here. I'm like so tired that I'm like I have like a stomach problem. But okay, let's the last one, guys. Last guy. Spencer,
Oh,
how's
okay,
it
yeah.
going?
Hey, how's it going? I saw
Good,
you
man.
last night. I didn't know what the topic was or what y'all were discussing.
Okay, yeah, we're just chilling.
I just had a super quick question, like
Sure.
if you're about to crash,
Okay.
because I don't really have any insight of it. I just kind of have an outside lens looking in.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on like how grant money is kind of like goes to overhead? You know what I'm talking about, like when grants are awarded. I mean, obviously there's some bad actors. I'm assuming. I don't know. I mean, it appears that way. That it's like a lot of it's getting stripped from the people wanting to do the actual work to go to administrative, overhead and yada yada. Is it as big of a deal as it looks, or?
So what you're talking about is indirect costs. So let's say
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
the
an
indirect
NIH
costs.
grant. So it's a $2 million grant, but then I get 60% of it taken away for indirect costs. So it's like you're left with
Peanuts.
yeah, exactly, $800,000. It's all of a sudden. So there are stipulations in some grants that deny indirect costs in it. So I know like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation like has strict stipulations that it can't go towards indirect costs. How we going, Eric? Nice talking to you, man.
I just saw that they were trying to. I don't know if they did or they were trying to. They were trying to cap it, and everybody
Yeah.
started throwing a fit and said, "This administration is trying to take away funding." I'm like, that's not like. How did you get that from saying we're going to cap the indirect percentage? It was like 15 or 30% was what they were trying to cap it at.
Yeah, I mean, basically the university argument is that hey, this is how we pay rent. This is your rent. You don't have to pay the pipes in this place, the building maintenance, all of your equipment, your access to these core facilities, all that kind of stuff are all through this.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, and these professors are kind of like startups, like in a way. So they really have everything kind of afforded to them, but the grants, it does seem a little excessive to be.
Yeah. When
So
60%, yeah, it's like, all right, come on now.
yeah.
And real quick, if you got us, what do you think about doing some type of like bounty system? Like, okay, we'll do the funding, but let's just say, okay, if you can show like results that obviously can be like duplicated or replicated in another, like here's $1 billion for solving this issue or whatever. Like, I think it would do more to incentivize people. Not saying that they're like sandbagging, obviously, because
Yeah,
you want.
that's how they're already done basically. So you have like initiatives that are a pool of money in order to give facilitate like this research goal, and then you basically beg for money from
Yeah.
that pool of money, saying that, oh, my research is going to further that goal by doing this. So I mean, they publish it that you can look at the NSF grant pools and all that kind of stuff, and see what kind of what the NSF is funding. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
and
does kind of happen already.
last night y'all were having like debate. I'm not an anti-jab person,
Okay.
but I'm. There's a couple that I'm very, very like. I'm like hardlined. Obviously, I only have the science that I can go off of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nowhere near qualified to say yes or no, but I think I have a lot of skepticism. However, when
Okay.
this new stuff came around, I was like, "Hey, tell my friends. I think it's probably more good than bad." I'm like, "Wait, you're the one who's always talking about that you don't like these ones." I'm like, "This is a totally different type of like thing. This is like a new thing." And just based on my initial readings, I'm like, if this showed the least like negative downside, if that made any sense.
So you're saying
Because
the mRNA vaccine was like was safer in your eyes?
yeah. For me
Oh,
being somebody who's like super skeptical, and I have my
wow.
reasons. But
Wow.
I was just looking. I try to be objective. Like I like reading science to what I can obviously comprehend. I'm not a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
Same with economics. Like I know people are like, well, you don't have a heart. And I'm like, listen, I'm just a numbers guy. But I think that and CRISPR technology is gonna bring just totally like amazing things to science. I love CRISPR
Cool.
technology, gene
Dang.
editing.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
I've been researching that. Like I don't know half the stuff that I'm reading, but I'm like, it's still cool. I can
Dude,
break
good
it
for you,
down.
man. Dude, I'm proud of you. Like going into that's the biggest thing that people are scared of, is that they are scared of like words that they don't recognize, and jumping into new topics. So that's awesome that you're doing that.
Well, I can use AI too now and say,
Yeah.
hey, can you dumb this down? Or can you elaborate on this topic? And I think AI is going to be great, obviously within reason, because it hallucinates and it can just tell you bad data.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
it helps.
what I do to combat that is I just put in like original research, or like an actual like the PDF of the data and that kind of stuff into it, and then ask questions about that data, as opposed to like an open-ended like, give me all the research data or the conclusion for this, and now it's like searching the web, and now
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the
And I like to read the papers, although it's kind of nerdy. Like, I import plants, and I started kind of getting into plants. So I was reading some peer-reviewed published papers from South Korea. Great papers. But I
nice.
noticed a flaw in one of the peer-reviewed, and it's not really a big flaw. They just had used the same photo for two separate like groups with different species. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh look, I caught something. So
Nice.
I sent them an email. They never responded, but I was like, hey, just by the way, just in case you didn't notice, it's so
Nice.
little. Like, but I was like, how did this get overlooked? But anyways, yeah, I think it's great. I think mRNA's. I mean, everything can have a downside.
Yeah.
Literally, uh, everything can. But I think we just have to look at it. Obviously, I don't want to condemn any dissenters if they're
Mhm.
providing some type of fact-based, evidence-based, like not just being contrarian for for the sake of being a contrarian. I don't just
Mhm.
like completely shut down both sides of the argument. But yeah, I thought it was great that y'all
Cool,
had that
man.
discussion last night. So
Yeah, I'd love to
anyways,
talk to you more about like CRISPR and stuff later. I'm just kind of like, it's just at the end of
when do you normally get on?
I'll be on tomorrow, like around 10 p.m. PST.
Heck yeah! Well, thanks for having me up. I'll see you
Yeah,
tomorrow then.
man. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you. Yeah, we can talk the entire time like about CRISPR. I've actually started using it in 2014. I was like one of the first people to do it
Oh,
for a yeast species that we were working with, and it was really fun.
I want to do it for ball pythons. But we'll
Oh
get
wow,
into
dude, let's
yeah.
talk
Because
about it. Let's talk about genetically modifying ball pythons with CRISPR.
well,
I'm
I
down.
produced a quadruple recessive. Um, real quick, I basically had quad hets and I bred the quad hits, and I ended up hitting a quad visual recessive, but it was DOA when I cut the egg,
Nice.
and I was like, no, and every other one, every 7 out of the 8 were completely normal possible hits, because obviously I can't tell if they're heterozygous.
Interesting.
Now you can shed test them though, and they can actually do a DNA profile on the shed to tell you if they actually carry the genes, which takes a lot of the guesswork out. But that's kind of
That's cool.
that's why I got into CRISPR, was the nerd
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
But anyways, have a good
Yeah,
one. I
I'm
appreciate you
interested
having
in
me.
hearing more about that. That's interesting. Cool. Well, thank you, After Dark, Amy. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, awesome, guys. Awesome, dude. What a good live. That was so much fun. That was really cool. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Let's see, man. I really want to just give me a second here. I wasn't. I was thinking about how we can. I want to end. I like to end these streams. I've been trying to end these with like a little moment of like mental coach, little idea to help you through the day. And I want to see. Yeah, I want to talk about mental health. I really want to hammer that home. Like, I think the biggest way to improve your mental health, for me at least, is to work out and to be active. They're really tied in one and the same. And I think that if you want to be healthy physically, you should work on your mental health. And if you want to be happy mentally, you should work out and work your body too. And they're really tied one and the same. And having some type of release and having some type of exertion that you push yourself with is such a big thing for me. And so let's try that. Let's try just doing something tomorrow that we can all push a little harder for, right? And just get that little extra sweat in and push ourselves a little bit more. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be on Saturday night, 10 o'clock again, maybe a little earlier so I can go to bed earlier. Maybe we'll see. But thank you so much. That was a really cool thing. Thank you for all the gifts and everything. You guys are really kind. I appreciate it. But I think it's really cool to see other communities discovering what we're doing here. And it really warms my heart that there's so many people coming here trying to improve themselves. And I think that is such an awesome thing. And it's really unique. And let's keep that energy going. Let's keep that positivity. And let's try to make tomorrow just a little bit better. Okay. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you. Thank you again for all the gifts and everything. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. Have a better day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alrighty. Thanks, everyone.